Alright, so where did we get to last time? Last time thanks Omega. Last time we finished case 3 of Dual Destinies, which took place in the academy, for people who are gonna become lawyers. Either the way it worked is you had 3 different factions. You could become a defense lawyer, a prosecutor, or judge. It was very interesting. And like Phoenix was invited to be a guest speaker, etc., etc. And then the murder happened, and turned out the murder took place by the person who was running the entire thing, the academy, because it was the dark age of the law, and he was didn't like something that I can't remember. It's been a few weeks, so forgive me. Something that what was her name? Professor Court found out something. Yeah, the dark age of the law. I don't know exactly what that means, but we know it is the dark age. Well, we know the dark age of the law is the fact that people will use whatever they can in order to get further their like prosecution or defense or whatever. But it's definitely foreshadowing for a future case, either this case or the next case. Anyway, oh, that was it. Yeah. Hugh O'Connor, who was supposed to be an honor student, was actually getting his grades changed by means, because he was taking bribes. That was it. But yeah, so that was how that case ended. Now, I think, based on the way that the case ended and what Athena said right at the end, it looks like we might be having a flashback case, which is kind of typical for case 4s. But I don't really know. It's called the Cosmic Turnabout. Oh, and it's starting with a trial? I didn't even notice that. Oh, interesting. Okay. This is not the first time that we've had a case 4 that started with a trial. There was, well, I think it was Edgeworth's first case. It started with a trial, and that trial was pretty. That was actually a really good case. I really liked that one. Anyway, let's jump straight into it. Let's see what happens. So yeah, this was the 2nd of July. It's been a month. Has it actually been a month since I played? Oh god, I'm so sorry, chat. Let's jump into it. So the DLC, I was supposed to trying to get the DLC to work. I couldn't get it to work. That's one of the reasons why it's taken so long to jump back into Ace Attorney. So we're just going straight into case 4. I don't want to wait too much longer now. Courtroom bombing incident. A terrible attack launched by the will of a madman. That incident perfectly symbolized the state of the legal world in this dark age of the law. Thanks, Ninvan. Mr. Wright brought it to a resolution of sorts. Ted Tenate was discovered to be the one responsible for the bombing. This is a flashback to case 1. If only it were that simple. Somehow, I can't help but think. That there's a darker influence at work. One that's lurking in the shadows. Waiting. That's why I want to review the trial that was taking place when the bombing occurred. After all, I've got more than a few personal stakes in it. Apollo's very mysterious in this game. Episode 4, The Cosmic Turnabout. Am I allowed to watch this intro, Akuro? Because it's happening.
Until launch. Please begin your final equipment check. Check complete. Everything's A-okay. We're ready here whenever you are.
Oh.
Come in at 2. Come in. Do you copy?
Uh-oh. They both died? Oh no! That's not just from a bombing. Somebody got stabbed. Okay, December 16th, 9 in the morning. District Court Defendant Lobby number 5. Time for another trial to begin. I have Jazz. I'm very excited. It's so funny. I waited ages to start Ace Attorney 5 trying to get a 3DS capture card, and then I ended up just being like, okay, we're gonna start it. Like, I waited like 2 years. And then the week after I started Ace Attorney 5, they announced the the trilogy. Time for another trial to begin. But this one is different. Sorry to bother you, but... Oh, it's Junie! Are you alright, Apollo? Ah, was I making a scary face just now? Oh, hi, Juniper. Yes, I'm fine. I was just doing my Chords of Steel exercises. Now, I'm all ready to go. Yes, knowing you, I'm sure you'll be just fine. Oh, I brought you a present from my garden. So, those of you who can't remember, Junie has a little crush on Apollo. Teeny crush. Is this a lotus root? That's right. My grandma says lotus root is good for your eyes. She even says that if you look through the holes, it can help you see the future. It's for good luck. Maybe later, you can cook it and... Thanks for this! I'm gonna have some right now! Oh my! Oh, he had it raw? Ew. What if she didn't even wash it? Hi, VR. No, I didn't get a chance. I was trying my best to get the DLC to work, but just a little crush. I was trying my best to get it to work, but I tried a whole bunch of stuff and couldn't get it to work, so we're just moving on to case 4 for now. Oops, if you didn't think me weird before. Oops, she didn't think me weird before. I gotta calm down. Apollo! Sorry I'm late. Hi, Athena. Junie, I didn't know you were coming today. Did you come to cheer Apollo on? Oh, I get it. You sly thing, you. Ha ha ha. Athena, stop! Quit kidding around, Athena. The trial's about to start any second. Is everything all set? Oh, Apollo, Apollo. When will you ever figure it out? Figure out what? Oh, I don't know who this is. Hang Hong? Wow. That was a lot. Oh, it's a sigh. Who's this? Looks like Larry with a red head. This is it. It's all over for me. They're gonna find me guilty. Oh, this is our defendant. This is our client. One, Mr. Solomon Sol Starbucks. Oh, it's Starbuck. You can tell what's on my mind. He's a very famous astronaut who happens to be an acquaintance of mine. You wouldn't know right now, but he's usually a very upbeat and driven person. The scene of the crime this time happened to be the Cosmos Space Center. Back in high school, my best friend and I went there almost a little too much. But that's where we met Mr. Starbuck. We'd ask about space travel, and he'd launch into story after story with so much passion. Back in those days, the man was 100% my hero. You sure you're okay with being my lawyer, Apollo? Oh, I'm sure. I know you, Mr. Starbuck. I know you're not the type to commit murder. Thanks, but... The good sigh animation. I was supposed to be in space right about now. Are you okay? He's so depressed. Well, seems like an act. The launch getting called off must have been a huge shock. I'll probably never get the chance to go into space again. Don't say that! Don't stop believing! Besides, you just have to go into space again. Yeah, I don't think I could face Clay in the afterlife if I just rotted away in a cell. Clay Terran? Can't believe he was murdered. I mean, he was such a promising astronaut under your command. Yeah, he was a good guy. Always there to pick me up when I was down. No one loved life as much as him, that's for sure. He was always so full of energy, telling me, "You're fine, Mr. Starbuck." How could something like this happen to a guy like him, huh? Never seen Mr. Starbuck so down. How many times am I gonna have to sigh? Clay's gone, and I'm going to prison. I wish I could burn up like a shooting star right now. Mr. Starbuck, you'll be fine. Ah, what is it? What's with the yelling? I'll get to the bottom of this today. You'll see. And in exchange, I want you to go back into space for you and Clay. Promise? Does that mean you have lots of evidence to prove my innocence? Oh, yeah, I have the autopsy report, apparently. That's it. Cause of death, stabbing. The victim was discovered in the third floor building lounge in the main building. What is this? Next to him. Why is he not wearing his glove on the right hand? Did he stab himself? How could he stab his right hand with his right hand? Oh, he's only 33. Oh, it's Clay. Clay was 23. It's a Hat 2 crew member. Oh, this was Apollo's close friend. Oh, okay, okay. Why am I not in here? Anyway. Oh, well, about that. Oh, wrong voice. We didn't get to investigate the area as much as I'd liked, thanks to the police. I'm done for. I'm a goner! Everybody thinks I did it. Thought I was gonna soar like a comet, but I'm just gonna crash like a meteorite. No! Don't say that, Mr. Starbuck. Don't count yourself out yet. I know it's hard to lose a teammate, but you've got to keep going. And what about you, Apollo? What about me? I was just thinking, wasn't Clay your best friend? Oh, maybe the court record kind of spoiled it for me. We need to focus on the trial right now. Are you all ready to go? Apollo. Trial is about to begin. If the defense would please proceed into the courtroom. Okay, here we go. This is it. This is one trial I can't afford to lose. For Clay's sake and our clients, I will find Clay's killer. Are we going to be facing Blackwell again? Straight into a trial. I usually like cases like this. Usually. Case 2-1 is a no. Court is now in session for the trial of Solomon Starr. The defense is ready, Your Honor. This guy's eye patch. Excuse me, Mr. Justice. Yes, Your Honor? What happened to your eye? Do you not remember the giant bomb that occurred? I'm fine. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Are you sure? I don't. I'm fine, Your Honor. The defense is... It doesn't matter. Like, we can wait. His eye isn't going to heal itself. If it's gone, it's gone. I'm sorry, Your Honor. He's been like this since yesterday. Keeps insisting it's just a sty. Sty? I hope it's something he doesn't want to discuss. Oh, I suppose, so maybe he's entering a touchy age. He's gonna say I'm fine again. Oh, no? Very well. And the prosecution? It is Blackwood, okay. Prosecution appears to be ready as well.
Silence.
Not yet. I'm not quite ready yet. Oh, he broke out of his shackles already? We haven't even started yet. Sty's like a pimple on the eyelid, more or less. Oh. I didn't know. Thank you for the information. The prosecution is now ready. I see. Oh, cool, Akira. Thank you for the info. I didn't know that. Well, it didn't take him long this time. Apollo seems fearless. What's up with Blackwood? No. I shall give the opening statement.
Silence.
Do that. I'll do it. You will? What an unexpected surprise. Oh my god, he's doing his job? This time, I can't leave it to anyone else. I see. Something's off with the two of you today. You both seem different somehow. Very well. Prosecutor Blackwell, your opening statement, if you would. It was just yesterday. The crimes in question occurred at the Cosmos Space Center. That famous federal research facility of all things related to astrology. Related to astrology? Oh, okay. I thought it was... Okay. Okay, I was about to say. If the case was about astrology, I would have been kind of upset. Astronomy. It's astronomy. Anyway, a rocket was set to launch from there. I would have hidden my disdain and been like, oh, it's fine. But I would have been, internally, I would have been a little upset because I got baited by a space case. But at 9:28 a.m., before they could even move the rocket to the launch site. That's a big explosion. 2 explosive devices were detonated, and the launch was cancelled. My word. 2 bombs? 2 bombs? How dreadful. The defendant in today's trial is charged with both the bombing and with murder. 1. Mr. Solomon Starbuck. For whatever inane reason, he detonated a bomb, the rocket he himself would be in. Solomon Starbuck? I recognize that name. Isn't he that famous astronaut? Correct, your boldness. Mr. Starbuck was the pilot of the Hat 1 rocket 7 years ago. As you may recall, despite some interstellar trouble, his mission was a success. Some say it was a miracle he returned alive. I suppose you can say he's a living legend. Oh, I remember now. He's become something of an international celebrity, right? Oh. Mankind's hope for the future. I've got to make it back alive. They even turned that incident into a movie and everything. Ah, indeed, Akira. We got a real space pioneering court today. But even heroes tumble from their lofty heights. Returning to the subject at hand. Ah, yes. The victim was one Mr. Clay Terrell. A subordinate of the defendant. Indeed. A loyal disciple brutally stabbed to death by his mentor. Stabbed to death, you say? You mean his death wasn't a result of the bombing? Correct. Despite his lofty dreams, the victim was seen as an as an interloper by the defendant. Interloper. And so he was sent not into space, but to the universe which we mortals cannot see. Play. I think I've heard enough. The case seems pretty clear-cut at this point. However, there is one thing I'm curious about. That metal box next to the witness stand. This is still here? I thought... Did they clean it, at least? What purpose does it serve, exactly? Since you ask so nicely... It's your coffin! Oh! Have mercy on me! Huh? I jest. It's evidence. He made a joke! Blackwell made a joke? What the heck? Due to its immense size, we've little choice but to lay it where it rests now. We shall get to the contents of the box in due time. Ew. Feel like I just lost 50 years of my life. Does he even have 50 years left? Well, kind of rude, Athena. Inner monologue, Athena. Inner monologue. Enough jabbering. Oh, hi, Fulbright. Bobby Fulbright's the name. In justice we trust. Ah, Detective Fulbright. Very well, then. Please explain the details of this incident to the court, if you would. On it. First, take a look at this pamphlet from the Cosmos Space Center. In it, you'll find a diagram outlining the overall layout of the Space Center. Okay, seems pretty standard. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Case 2-4 from Danganronpa. You got two sides, and then you got a big building in the middle. For a more detailed look at what's on the left side of the building. Ooh. Look at this cross-section that the police have created. Elevator to the tower. Level. The shelter and basement. See the launch pad in the main building? The launch pad is the square building. The rounded structure is the main building, right? You've got it. The incidents took place in the launch pad 1 and the main building's lounge. I'll be using this diagram during my testimony. It'll make it easier to understand. Thank you. I'm glad this is part of our court record, because this place looks a little confusing, especially because we haven't been there. Oh, he's going straight into it. Okay. Let's take a look. Okay. Elevator, lower level, middle level, connected corridor, ladder going up to the upper level. 3rd floor. Just before the rocket was set to launch, two bombs went off. Boom! Boom! One on the 2nd floor of the Space Center's main building, and one in Launch Pad 1. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Thankfully, only the 2 astronauts were in Launch Pad 1 at the time. 2 of them managed to make it back as far as the boarding. P and S, is that Turan and Solomon? Oh, Starbuck. Okay. As far as the boarding lounge, but after the escape, one of the 2 was found stabbed to death. A murder on top of a bombing? Detective, the victim was already dead by the time you arrived at the lounge, correct? Yep. Thinking he'd sabotaged the bombing, the defendant attacked and killed the victim. Just look at this tragic photo. So what is this? Oh my. Is that a knife in the victim's chest? Yes, Your Honor. It's the knife that cruelly ended this young man's dreams. We couldn't get any prints off of it, though, because the defendant was in his spacesuit. Your fingerprints could be lifted, okay? But can you spell the word knife? By the way, Detective Fulbright, why are the victim's helmet and right glove absent in this photo? We had to remove them to identify him, Your Honor. His right hand, too? I personally removed his glove during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity, after all. Yes, it would be very difficult to identify him without a face or a fingerprint. Now, there's just one more thing I'd like to inquire about. What is this round thing next to the victim in this photo? Thanks, Judge. Something so important to the victim. He took it with him as he escaped the launch pad. A capsule that apparently contains asteroid samples. Oh. Okay. Well, obviously valuable for research purposes. It has no relation to this case. Then why is it in the photo? I see. So, we know that the bomb in the main building was on the second floor. But where was the bomb that was in Launchpad 1 located? That was on the rocket itself. That's what this shows, right? Well, when it exploded. Situated around the center part of the rocket. Yeah. Apparently, the area around the launch pad's elevator was a sea of flames. I would like to submit this diagram and report it into the record. Okay. Explosion spot, fire, second floor of the main building, and in the middle level of the launch pad near the elevator. The trial's just started and I'm already in a bind. You get used to it. Besides, that's what cross-examination is for, right? What the two astronauts were doing during the bombing. That'll be the key. We need to find out more info. We don't really know much. Hold it! How powerful were the explosions? Well, the one in the main building wasn't strong enough to bring the place down, but the room it went off in was burned black. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. Due in large part, of course, to me stepping up to lead the evacuation. Wait, what were you doing there in the first place, Detective Fulbright? I'm Bobby Fulbright, hero of justice. I'll be there whenever and wherever and whenever possible. People need my help. I'll go to the other side of the world, or even the edge of the universe. I'm not sure he knows how far that actually is. But I guess I'll leave that one alone. Why was he there? Admirable decision, Justice Dono. Huh? What'd he decide? Anyway, could you describe what it was like at the Space Center at that time? The bomb cut the power to the central bank of elevators. And the third floor lounge. It was pitch black in there, I tell you. However, the security cameras and whatnot were running on emergency backup. And how did the evacuation go? I immediately and heroically whisked people down to the Space Center's basement shelter. The basement shelter? Yes, there's an emergency shelter beneath the Space Center. Yeah, I did see that on the diagram. An emergency shelter, huh? Oh, here it is. It's at the bottom of the diagram. I did see it. The Space Center's pretty impressive to have its own shelter. Managed to get there without the elevators. The power outage and evacuation seem unrelated to the murder at this point. I guess I'll leave that aside for now. So there were 2 explosions in total, correct? Yep, that's right. So was the one on the second floor was to probably just stop the elevators, right? I'm guessing. Hold it! Let me get this straight. Mr. Starbuck rigged a rocket he was going to board with explosives? Huh? What are you talking about? If the defendant really did plant the bombs on his own rocket, he'd get caught in the explosion as well. Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Fine. A simpleton for a simpleton. Fulbright. The motive. Understood. The defendant actually had astrophobia. Is that fear of space? Astrophobia? What's that? Fear of space. But he went into space already. On Hat 1, didn't he? And so, in his terror, the defendant found a way to stop the launch at the last minute. That's absurd! Unfortunately for you, we have evidence. Take a look at these. Pills? What are they? These anti-anxiety tablets found among the defendant's possessions. So that you immediately jump to the fact that he has a fear of space. And that's why he's on anti-anxiety medication. Apparently, he was taking them in secret to quell his fears. How do you know this? There were a multitude of problems with the rocket Mr. Starbuck rode 7 years ago. Rumor has it threatened to crash a number of times as well. That was, of course, very traumatic for Mr. Starbuck.
Objection!
But that doesn't mean he'd go so far as to blow up his own ship. The defendant couldn't bear to mar his good name now, could he? No, not after the media had branded him Soul Starbuck, space pioneer extraordinaire. Given these conditions, the defendant could hardly run away like some basic mutt. Wait, so that's why you think he resorted to the bombing? Naturally, he constructed this act of sabotage in an attempt to blow up the space engine, which would effectively abort the launch, but spare his reputation. Ugh. Now, I'm sure you all understand why we have to bring justice down on this atrocious criminal. Only the two. Where was everybody else? Was it just supposed to be them? It was just before the spaceship was set for launch, so of course it was only those two. Well, there could have been somebody else inside that rocket.
Silence!
The notion of a third party in Launchpad 1 is utterly absurd. Like, just to enter the area from the lounge, one must pass through a door guarded by a fingerprint recognition device. And allow me to state up front that there are precious few with clearance to do so. Fingerprint? Good work, Judge. Actually, it's not as amazing as you think, Your Honor. Take a look at this photo. This is the door in the lounge with the fingerprint. Only personnel whose fingerprints are registered can pass through. I see. That is very different from what I had in. What did you have in mind? Is there a record of the number of people that passed through the door yesterday? Yes, there were only 3: the defendant, the victim, and the director of the Space Center, Yuri Cosmos. Then doesn't that mean it's possible that the director is the one who did it? Not a chance. He was in the main building when the bombs exploded at 9:28, doing his job directing the launch. Besides having an alibi, he has no motive for committing these senseless acts. Sorry, I'm yawning so. I just had coffee and I'm yawning so much. He has a point. Guess the director can't be considered a suspect then. Getting more evidence. Only the Prince of Cosmos, Stark Terran are authorized. Independent security company manages the usage records. Fingerprints, I mean, see, fingerprints aren't the most secure thing for a thing like this because it's very easy to just mimic fingerprints. Gave evacuation instructions immediately. There was a power surge and the affected areas remained dark. Security system switched over to emergency power and continued to work. Evacuees moved to the basement. Okay. The two of them managed to make it as far as the boarding lounge. So, while it would appear that the pair barely escaped with their lives, in actuality, one of them had already been murdered inside the rocket. That's the angle the prosecution wants to push, correct? You got it! In fact, that's what I've been trying to say this whole time. If the victim had been alive, he would have for sure tried to stop the bombing. Is there any chance Mr. Terran could have been killed before he boarded the rocket? They were both alive and well at Boardington, and embarked under their own power. Their hearts full of hopes and dreams of space. And both their hopes and dreams were dashed. If I may continue my explanation. After the evacuation order was given, the defendant made his escape, carrying the victim to make it look like a rescue. The two was found standing. Hold it! So where did they find, Starbuck? Who was the first to find the victim? Actually, there were two of them. The Space Center Director, Yuri Cosmos, and Detective Candice Arm. One of them was a detective? Wait, Candice? I thought... she was the one that... died? It's been a couple months. I'm pretty sure she's the detective that died in case 1. Yep, Detective Arm specializes in bombings, you see. She and the director were ordering the evacuation from the explosion. Following the explosions, they were also worried about the astronauts, so they hurried over to the boarding village. That's when they discovered the victim, along with the defendant. 2 witnesses, huh? One of them is a detective. Doubt either one would have anything to say that would help me. I think that pretty much covers the details of this case. Only the victim and the defendant were on the launch pad when the former was killed. This is the truth. Then only Mr. Starbuck could have carried out this crime. What little I could get out of him only hurt my case. Justice, Donald. Foolish is the warriors who rushes headlong into battle. Preparation is an essential part of battle. So I advise you to take a gander at this. What is it? Footage from a security camera. My nose is so itchy. Yo, sub 240 on mission 3? My god, Tenza, did you highlight it? Or are you doing it offline? As the 2 astronauts emerged from the bowels of Launch Pad 1 corridor. The boarding lounge security camera captured their desperate escape. Now, I will direct your attention to what the defendant is shouldering. Which you can see is none other than the lifeless body of the victim. Yeah, but is he dead or is he just unconscious from the bombing? Order. Order, I say! This lines up exactly with what the prosecution has been asserting. I should have known Blackwell would have something like this ready. Apollo? How exactly did they determine that Clay was already gone in that footage? I was wondering. Wait, he's not... Is he wearing his glove? Oh, he is wearing his glove. I thought he wasn't wearing his gloves. And I was like, that's kind of sus. How do you know? He's not stabbed. Can you tell? It's so dark. Your Honor, please take another look at the footage. Isn't it possible that Mr. Turan was still alive here? Mr. Starbuck was helping him? Why, I believe you're right. One man carrying the other to safety. What a beautiful expression of friendship. Go on, prove me wrong, Blackwell. Perhaps that's what it looks like to a one-eyed hothead and dotard. But it only makes sense if the victim's dead body. No, it is the victim's dead body. What do you mean? Fulbright, explain it to Justice Donald. You've got it. Ready, kid? If the murder had occurred in the lounge, someone could have spotted it. Anyone could enter the lounge after all. But doing it while they were alone in the spaceship, that's a horse of a different color. But you can't deny that there's a possibility the murder could have happened in the lounge. All that video shows is a man helping his fellow astronaut out.
Silence.
I mean, Apollo has a point. I mean, it's like circumstantial at best, dude. You can't just say that he's dead because it couldn't have been seen. Your assertion is based on emotion. It's based on your belief that Mr. Starbuck would surely help his own disciple. You have no logical explanation as to why the victim could still be alive. But you don't have a good explanation as to why he's dead. I mean, the fact that nobody saw it in the lounge doesn't just mean that he had to have been stabbed in another specific spot. Unfortunately, Mr. Justice, the prosecution is right. Your argument is lacking in sound logic. But it sounded perfectly logical to me. Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no further objections, I believe it's time to bring this cross-examination to a close. Objections? Oh, Athena has something. Your Honor, the defense requests a little time to think and regroup. Given the facts, I'm not sure I see the need. What is it, Athena? It's just, there's something that's been bothering me. If it isn't the defense stalling for time, as always. Very well, I'm feeling generous. You may have a small measure of time. Yes! You have 5 seconds. Oh, thanks. 5 seconds? After that, I declare this cross-examination to be closed and a verdict to be rendered. Your baldness, raise your gavel high. It's time for a countdown. Uh-oh. Am I going to be timed? Oh. Oh! Ready? Uh-oh. We don't have time! Spit it out, Athena! Only 3 more seconds. Look! I don't think the prosecution's explanation is very complete. Meaning? Meaning there's something missing. Like, they conveniently left it unexplained. Something they didn't explain. Something they didn't explain. Ah, you're right! I think I know what you're talking about. Your 5 seconds are up, Mr. Justice. Is there anything about the prosecution's argument that you'd like to rebut? Yes, Your Honor. Actually, there is. There is something the prosecution has yet to make clear to this court. Well, if you put it that way. The prosecution has failed to explain why the body was moved. Motive, well, they made it halfway clear with the anxiety. Why did he have to move the body in particular? They have failed to explain why Mr. Starbuck would bother bringing the body back at all. If the defendant wanted to kill the victim, why didn't he just leave his body in the rocket? Why go through the trouble of bringing him all the way back to the boarding lounge? Oh, that's true. I don't think we've heard the prosecution's thoughts on that yet. That's because they have none, Your Honor. After all, how does one explain something so illogical? The prosecution is claiming that the defendant moved the victim's dead body. What if the entire premise of that argument is wrong? Then let's hear your theory, Mr. Justice. The defense proposes that the defendant didn't kill the victim. He was helping him. Fulbright, explain it for our sad friend here before I nod off to his monotone monologue, informing exactly why Spaceboy moved the victim. Huh? I've got to be joking. It's simple. Mr. Starbuck did what he did to direct suspicion away from himself. He wanted to create the impression he heroically risked his life to save his partner. That's why he made sure to make it to the security camera, so there'd be a record. At the very least, he appeared to have achieved success with you and the old man. Average person wearing a spacesuit weighs easily over 200 pounds, saving the life of a partner who weighs as much while trying to escape deadly fate. What a dramatic sob story, fit for the silver screen. Indeed, I was completely taken in by the humanity of the story. You see, yet the true ending is that all traces of his hammy act were meant to be blown up. Yes, and now we arrive at the thrilling conclusion. The what? There was another explosion?
Objection!
What are you talking about? There was no third explosion. Indeed, you are correct. But that is thanks to Detective Arm. It was she who identified and secured the bomb. However, it doesn't change the fact that the third bomb was discovered in the lounge. The steel coffin, besides the witness statement, that would be a bomb transport case. We used that to transport the deactivated bomb here. It was found in the lounge. A bomb in the form of a most distasteful toy. What? One on the second floor of the main building, one on the launch pad, and one in the lounge. The defendant planned to set off 3 firework displays. Fortunately, the third was discovered before it could be detonated. Or had it not, the victim's body and other vital evidence would surely have been immolated.
Objection!
Well, before you utter a word, know that the evidence supports me. Ugh, it's like he's reading my mind. As it is still undergoing forensic evidence, I don't have the evidence on hand. However, know that a peculiar item was found in one of Mr. Starbuck's pockets. Specifically, a bomb detonation switch. You found what? Okay, well this looks bad. I suspect the defendant had no time to destroy such damning evidence when the Space Sense director and Detective Arm stumbled across the murder, so he thought to hide it in his pocket. Feeble brain that he is. Ah! No! Mr. Starbuck would never do anything like that. What? Stop throwing stuff at me. Justice, Doc. Open your eyes and see the truth. This appears to be irrefutable evidence that the accused set off the explosions. No, there has to be some kind of mistake. This can't be the truth. Still can't accept it? You believe in your client, come what may? Then why don't you cross-examine the defendant himself? Huh? This has got to be a trap. It's like Black was controlling the entire game. Yeah, seems like he was waiting for me to bring up the body moving issue. Why do you say that? Because he had just the right argument when I pointed it out. To really rub it in, he had a decisive piece of evidence up his sleeve too. He was trying to shake my faith in Mr. Starbuck and break me down. Then, making you cross-examine Mr. Starbuck at this point was a part of his plan too? Totally underhanded, but I wouldn't expect anything less from him. Now, let's hear from the arch-villain, the fiendish murderer himself, famed astronaut Solomon Starbuck. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Solomon Starbuck, astronaut. How did this happen? Mr. Starbuck, you aren't looking very well. Will you be able to give testimony? No. Well, unfortunately, no is not an option. You are being accused of the Space Center bomb and a murder of Plato. Please testify to these allegations. Mind if I take the suit off? It's getting really heavy.
Silence.
What a line. It's not the weight of the suit that you feel, but of your sins. Prepared to carry that weight for the rest of your life. My voice. Banish me to the moon. I don't care anymore. Wow, that was super negative. Is he gonna be alright up there? He'll be fine, I think. As long as he doesn't totally give up. Let's say that he did it, that is. Alright. All I did was support Clay over my shoulder and get us out of the rocket. Like always, I took the elevator down to the middle level and headed for the corridor. Clay had passed out by the time we got there in order to evacuate. It didn't kill Clay. I was trying to save him. So you assert you didn't set off the bomb or murder the victim? Ha ha. Ha ha ha. But I bet you think I'm lying, right? I reserve all judgment until after I've heard your full testimony. I'm sure you don't believe me. I bet you don't even believe I'm an astronaut. I don't think the judge doubts that. Who'd wear a suit like that except an astronaut? Yeah. I will say that when I saw you in that movie, you appeared quite courageous. Though I suppose reality never quite lives up to fantasy. I guess I'm just a big disappointment. Ha 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 ha. Really don't care what happens anymore. Ha ha ha. No, it's completely given up. What a depressing fellow. If you were to join me in the clink, I imagine that annoying sigh of yours would rub off on all the other inmates. Like how it rubbed off on Prosecutor Blackwell a second ago. Huh? That was Blackwell sighing? Mr. Starbuck's testimony contains a glaring contradiction. Question is, what does it mean? Wait, it does? Oh, was not paying attention to it, apparently. Even if Mr. Starbuck is my client. I can't be gun-shy now. It's time to find out the truth. A glaring contradiction? I didn't even notice. What? Oh, I thought the elevators were not operational. Whoops, I completely missed that. Hi, trader. What? I'm pretty sure that's what it said, right? Where was it? Hope you're doing well today. Wait, took the elevator down to the middle level. But it's a ladder. And the elevator wasn't working. Because the elevator got bombed. Look at it. Yeah. Bro. Objection! Mr. Starbuck, I need your testimony to be as accurate as possible. Was I not being accurate? No, because it's impossible for you to have taken the elevator down to the middle floor. That's okay. I've been there as well, trader. Hopefully you got some good rest, though. What makes you say that, Mr. Justice? Please recall where the bomb went off in Launchpad 1. Also recall that after the explosion, the middle level elevator was engulfed in flames. Oh, you're right. Which means... Exactly. The Launchpad's elevator would have been unusable. In other words... Mr. Starbuck, your statement is decidedly inconsistent with the facts. Oh, he put on his helmet. What's with the helmet? Ah, mission command. Mission command. Do you read me? Come in, please. What are you doing? This is mission command. I order you to pay attention. Stop this nonsense and answer my questions, Mr. Starbuck. Ah, my helmet. My oxygen tank. Bro, you are on Earth. Calm down. He's having his breakdown already. That's it. That's the end of the case. We did it. Oh, he fainted. Mr. Starbuck, we are not in space right now. Please stop pretending you have lost consciousness and stand back up. I apologize, Your Honor. I forgot I was still on Earth. I feel like we all just got a real glimpse of Solomon Starbuck, the astronaut. Yeah, he seemed more like an astronaut now than what he was doing when he was doing all that sighing. Mr. Starbuck, could you please explain the inconsistency in your statement about how you used the middle level elevator? I was nervous and I said the wrong thing. I'm sorry. I actually took a different route, I think. A different route? I hope you're able to deliver a straight story this time. I'll get it right this time. Maybe. No, I mean probably. Probably? It's understandable to be nervous, but let me remind you, accuracy is paramount in court. My escape route. Go for it. Don't say elevator again. Let's see. My escape route. What I said before was a mistake. I remember now. I took a different route. Maybe. Probably. With the capsule and Clay in my arms, I made my way down from the upper level. He made his way down from the upper level. So you're saying you escaped without using the elevator? You had a person and the samples in your hand and you climbed down a ladder? Huh? What? How? Demonstrate to me how you were able to do that without falling over. Huh? Am I understanding this correctly? Look, bro, how are you supposed to walk like this down a ladder? I can barely walk up and down a ladder without falling over when both my hands are on the ladder. Maybe I'm just really unbalanced. I used that ladder to get to the middle level. Luckily, the fire hadn't reached the ladder, so we could make our escape that way. True. And the capsule you mentioned. I suppose it meant the thing next to Mr. Turan here. Was the capsule that important that you'd risk your life to take it with you? It almost goes without saying, but yeah. That capsule contains asteroid samples. Therefore, it's invaluable as research material. With the spacesuit on, Clay weighed a ton. But securing the capsule is also important. Also, not falling off the ladder. I need you to answer to the best of your ability. Mr. Starbuck, please remember that your verdict is riding on your testimony. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Oh. Maybe I am guilty after all. Dude, stop! Come on! I wonder if you can see the stars in prison. Bet it's more comfortable than a spaceship. Let's see. My escape. Well...
Hold it!
The upper level of the launch pad area? That's right. That's what I said, isn't it? Granted, that route does exist. So to recap, you had Clay over your right shoulder and the capsule in your left hand. Yeah, it's really important. So I couldn't let it get burnt up. So even though Clay was really heavy, I couldn't afford to carry him with both hands. I did the best I could with him over one shoulder and the capsule in my other hand. And you climbed down a ladder? I think Apollo is also realizing that this is just a BS story. Huh. You know what you have to do with that statement. Justice Donor? Yes, I do. Yeah. I got it. Yeah, no, I got it. I got it. I know. I'm gonna present it. Athena. I'm gonna do it. I understand, Athena. I understand. I got it. I got it. Don't you worry. Watch how this is wrong. Objection!
Objection!
It's... What? It's wrong! What? No way! No, 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 no. No, shush! It's right! They literally alluded to it like 6 different times. Okay, maybe it's not this, but they literally showed that... Wait, okay, hang on. Maybe it's the diagram to show that it's a ladder. Objection!
Objection!
No, for frick's sake, you... Alright, fine. It's fine. It's fine. Mr. Starbuck, why don't you just tell the truth? The truth? Oh, let's see. No, it's fine, Kirby. I'm just being dramatic. It's okay. I'm glad that they have those little hints there at the end, just in case, so people don't get like super stuck. Let's see. The Earth is blue? No, that's not right. So, I guess the Earth isn't blue? Yeah, that's it. The truth, Mr. Starbuck. Oh, the oxygen concentration is super low in this area. Prepare the emergency oxygen tanks. Mr. Justice, the witness appears confused. Please help draw out the truth from him. Mr. Starbuck, under the circumstances at the time, you couldn't possibly have reached the boarding lounge via the upper level route. Huh? Not as long as this was along the escape route. I'm guessing they want me to point to the ladder. To get down from the upper to the middle level where the launchpad corridor is, you would have had to go down the ladder. Isn't that right, Mr. Starbuck? Of course. That was the only way we could escape. But how would that work? At the time, you were supporting Mr. Terran over your shoulder, were you not? And remember, he was in full space gear as well, putting him at over 200 pounds. Well, it's easy on the moon. Gravity is only 1/6 of... But you aren't on the moon. What?
Objection!
Dude, why are we defending someone like this? But the space center is located on Earth. Short of being an octopus, climbing a ladder with an adult male in space gear in one arm, while carrying the capsule in your other, is impossible, wouldn't you say? So, Mr. Starbuck, how exactly did you climb down that ladder with your arms full? Mr. Starbuck, come clean and tell us the truth. Now! Engineer! Where's that engineer? Oxygen leak detected. Oh my god. Bye. Help! I'm caught on the ceiling! Help? Anyone? Bailiff, prepare the cherry picker. We must launch a rescue mission at once. Well, that's one way to take off while being questioned. Rather prove his innocence so he can go to space again someday for real. Oh my god. Please. Now then, Mr. Starbuck, do you think you can keep your feet planted on the ground? Yes. I apologize for losing control. Are you ready to tell us the truth? Please. Oops. Not that. Anything but that. What is going on? This isn't the Mr. Starbuck I know. It appears Space Boy is prone to deception. Witness! Yikes! Yes? I thought your story odd. but perhaps the inconsistencies can be explained as the result of a medical side effect? Oh, Prosecutor Blackwell, please. Please don't talk about that. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Prosecutor Blackwell? Didn't I already state that Spaceboy is, ironically, terrified of going into space? That's why he took some precautions just before the launch. For you see, traces of this anti-anxiety drug were found in his system. Okay. I sense things are about to nosedive. You've got it all wrong! I told him during the investigation too. I don't know anything about any drugs. I never took any medication. I swear! It was found in his system, but he doesn't remember taking it? How could that be? Somebody must have slipped them to me. But I guess that's maybe why I don't remember. Because of the side effects. Yeah, that's why I don't remember much about what really happened. What? Huh? He doesn't remember. So he's just making up stuff. Order. Order in the court. Can't get any useful testimony out of him if he doesn't remember anything. Well, this certainly explains why his testimony kept changing. Why didn't he just tell me he couldn't remember? Guess he didn't want anybody to find out he was terrified of going into space. Maybe I really did do it? Which brings us to the answer of our original question. Of how a witness climbed down the ladder with a dead body. It does? So what is it? A dead man feels no pain, makes no complaints, Justice Stoner. I was considering it, and then also Okura mentioned it as a joke. But there was no crack in the... Surely there would have been some signs of a giant fall. Oh my, I see. And then the defendant can climb down with his free hand. Drop the body down? Who would do such a disrespectful thing? Well, somebody who committed a murder. Besides, dropping the body down would leave marks on the body itself. So, you are capable of quick thinking. Yes, you are correct. Really? Oh, thanks? Ah! What is that? Huh? What's this? Oh, that's the thing that was on his shoulder? The oxygen tank from the victim's spacesuit. It's ruptured, and I'm sure you can figure out why. Was it ruptured here? You can't tell. You can't be implying it ruptured when the defendant dropped the victim's body. I am, but they fracture easily when struck. Even if that's true, the tank's explosion and shrapnel would leave its marks on the body. Yet, according to the autopsy report, only the knife wound was found on the victim's body. You're clearly grasping at straws with this line of reasoning. A spacesuit isn't heavy for the sake of being heavy, Justice Stoner. It includes the latest technological devices and is made of the fabric of tomorrow. The fabric is made to protect astronauts from the dangers of space. So falling a few Earth yards would hardly leave a mark on the wearer. Alright. Then shouldn't it be impossible to stab someone through it as well? It should. And yet, through sheer coincidence, the knife slipped through a weak spot in the suit structure and found its way to its target. Oh, poop, dude. I don't believe this for a second. What are the chances? You forget that our killer is an astronaut himself, with knowledge of how the suits work. Yeah, got me there. And now, my argument has been proven. Spaceboy killed the victim in the rocket and then dropped the body from the upper level. After climbing down, he shouldered the body and made sure the camera recorded them. There's no room for debate about these facts. It is clear that Solomon Starbuck is the only one who could have killed Clay Terran. Here, the report regarding the astronaut's oxygen tank. Consider it my send-off gift. My send-off gift. Feel free to use it as payment to cross the river Styx. At 80%? 80%. The display on the astronaut's left shoulder shows the oxygen remaining. After the incident, the victim's tank was ruptured and the remaining oxygen was 0%. The tank belonging to Starbuck, who claims to have carried the victim, said it was 80% full. But this picture shows 50%? Last I checked, percentages go down when they start to decrease. Not up. So either two things. One, he refilled his oxygen tank. Or two, this is just somebody else. But that's a big contradiction. Let's see. The display on the astronaut's left shoulder shows how much oxygen remains. I guess that means these glowing cyan digits represent the amount of oxygen remaining. I'm done for. I'm going to prison instead of space! Isn't that what you prefer, though? Since you're afraid of space? Space boy! Yes? Take heart. The bejeweled night sky is still beautiful, even when viewed through bars. You mean the stars seen from prison? That's right. Your cell will be your spaceship. Picture the view through iron bars. It's like being an astronaut in your own craft for all time. Ha ha ha. That's not a half bad thought. Mr. Starbuck? Prosecutor Blackwell's got to him good. Don't put your helmet back on! Let's get sucked into a black hole together. Dude. Mr. Starbuck, you can't give up hope. Oh? Yes, Apollo? You know, Clay really looked up to you. He said you're an incredible man. He said you'd never give up on your dreams and passion for space, no matter the situation. He said that? Don't give up now. Help me prove your innocence. For the sake of the man who respected you and believed in you. Clay Terran. For Clay. You're wasting your breath. Oh, my voice. Oh, he's screaming. I can't do that without destroying my voice. Sorry. Look at that confident smile he has now. Apollo. Thank you. I can see things clearly now. Mr. Starbuck? I'm fine now. Thanks for reminding me of my life's mission. Right, we'll both be fine. I'll prove you're innocent. You'll see. And after that, we'll get you back into space. Oh, you've ignited the booster rockets of my soul! I'm on fire! I am Solomon Starbuck, astronaut, a cosmic hero chosen by the universe itself. This is no time to be whimpering and crying. I can't let you and Clay down. Balderdash. The sun. The moon. All of space is calling me. Solomon Soul Starbuck. Ready for launch. Begin the countdown. 5. Oh, my voice. Oh, my God. 4. 3. 2. 1. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, I feel like I've witnessed an actual rocket launch. Apollo, you did it! You broke Prosecutor Blackwell's grip over Mr. Starbuck. Can't take the credit. It was all Mr. Starbuck. He pulled himself through. You simpletons are done massaging one another's egos. No matter how positive your mood, my advantage remains unshakable. You have but to wait for the final guilty verdict. Isn't that right, your boldness? Ugh, can't let up now. To stop Blackwell, I have to see this through. I know, Pixel. Mr. Starbuck just has to make it back into space. Aww, cute picture. I won't allow Clay's dreams to remain unfulfilled. I've got to destroy Blackwell's argument somehow. Think, Justice. Think. If the only people at Launchpad 1 were Clay and Mr. Starbuck. Okay, if it's only these two. If Noah's definitely nobody else. And this is 50%. And he didn't refill his oxygen tank. Then maybe this is Clay? But then it says Clay is already dead? But Clay can't carry somebody if he's dead. Anyway, to counter Blackwell's argument is, I could prove that Clay was still alive. Okay, okay. So if it's Clay instead who's carrying Starbuck, I guess that could be a case. Instead of him refilling his oxygen tank. Which case, I should be able to find some contradiction in the evidence itself. Now, let's see. About this data that we just received. It supposedly proves that Mr. Starbuck dropped Clay's body in Launchpad 1. But if I'm going to prove that false, then there must be something I can use here. Enough of this farce, your baldness. Let's have your verdict. Prosecutor Blackwell, you seem to be in quite a hurry to rush the verdict. But about this oxygen tank data you submitted just now. It says that Mr. Starbuck's tank had 80% remaining, while Mr. Terrence had 0. Do you stand by that accuracy of the report? Of course. Apollo. Then I guess it simply means that it's faulty, as evidence goes. You will explain what you mean, Justice Storno. It's simple. This evidence contradicts the facts of this case. Take a look here at the detailed description, and you'll see what I mean. I hope you have some evidence, Mr. Justice, because I don't see what's so contradictory. Yes, Your Honor, right away. This is the evidence that the oxygen tank report stands in contradiction to. It's the picture. This time it is the picture. 50%. It just can't happen. Because it says 80%. Shion, thanks for the Prime sub. That's very nice of you to do. I hope you enjoy the emotes. I appreciate the support immensely. Very nice of you to use your Prime on me. Take that! Take that! And how does this evidence present a contradiction? The problem is this part here. I got it. 50%. Note the remaining oxygen in Mr. Starbuck's tank as he carries Mr. Terran. It appears to say 50. Yes, but according to the data, our client's tank had 80% remaining. The oxygen in the tank increased. I see, Your Honor finds it as strange as I do. It's bad enough that there is a contradiction, but the increase in oxygen is beyond illogical. Oh my, you're absolutely right. What is going on here? I, too, find it odd that the oxygen remaining has increased. It would be as odd as if my rations were to increase. But what does that prove? It doesn't change the fact that it is the defendant carrying the victim's corpse. I don't know. I'm gonna bet you don't get more rations because you don't abide by the rules. Either way, the oxygen remaining shouldn't increase, just as your rations don't increase. Therefore, this new information is critical. We can't overlook it. In that case, do you have an answer to this riddle of this mysteriously increasing oxygen? You better not disappoint, or I'll declare the inconsistency as mere equipment malfunction. Ugh. Prosecutor Blackwell has a point. I suppose it could be a simple malfunction. Mr. Justice, if you cannot prove an adequate counter-argument to this point, I'm afraid I must bring this trial to an end. So, do you think you can explain why the oxygen level increased? Of course I can! The thing to do at a time like this is turn my thinking around. Mr. Starbuck has no memory of it, but he claims to have carried Clay. So the man with the 50 on his tank ought to be Mr. Starbuck. But if anything, the display on his oxygen tank should have shown an 80. This is a clear contradiction between the report and the security footage. So what I should be asking is not, why did the oxygen level increase? But what had to have happened to make it look like it had increased? Am making some kind of mistake in my base assumptions here? No. You got it, Apollo. It's got to have been Clay who was carrying him. Yes, Your Honor. I'm ready to answer. This is why the remaining oxygen appears to have increased. Looking the other way. The victim was carrying the defendant. What if it was the other way around? The other way around? Would you care to explain, Mr. Justice? As you can see, Your Honor, both men had their helmets on in this footage, but it turns out this is where our base assumptions went astray. We assumed that it was Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Terran, but it was the other way around. It wasn't Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Terran at all. It was Mr. Terran who was helping Mr. Starbuck to the boarding lounge. It was what? Hi, BP. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well today. Order. Order. Mr. Justice. You mean to tell me that the person on the right in this image is the victim, Clay Terran? Indeed. It's the only way the riddle of the increasing oxygen level can be solved, Your Honor. At this point in time, the remaining oxygen in the victim's tank was at 50%, and when the victim was found in the boarding lounge, his tank was at 0%. That's right! There's nothing contradictory about the oxygen level decreasing. This means Mr. Terran was alive as they made their escape to the lounge. How short your memory is. Have you forgotten what you yourself proposed? Even if the victim was alive at this point in time. How did he descend the ladder with his arms full? Well, maybe Starbuck was still awake to climb down the ladder and then he fainted and doesn't remember. Prosecutor Blackwood, you can't hurt me with a broken blade. Excuse me? It's true that we don't know how they got down the ladder. I suppose that matter needs further investigating. We have proven that Mr. Terran was alive when he reached the boarding lounge. This fact alone shatters your claims. Opens up the possibility that the victim could have been killed by a third party. That's true. There were two people who claimed to be the first person on the scene. But can we truly trust their statements? Let's see. The two people were Detective Candace Arm and Yuri Cosmos, right? You think that one of them might have given a false statement to the police? Yes, it's certainly possible. We might have to do a little more digging. It seems we'll have to hear the testimony of these first two people on the scene. Score! Come to think of it, Detective Arm should be here in court right now. Bailiff, could you please show Detective Arm to the stand? Wait, oh, so this is a flashback, right? Oh, this is the flashback of the case of the, oh, right, okay, this is the flashback of right before the explosion, I think. Because, what date did that happen? I can't remember. This is the 16th, and I think the first case was also on the 16th? Am I remembering that correctly? It's been 2 months. I can't remember. I think so, though. Because Detective Arm, if Detective Arm is alive, that must be the case. So I think things are about to go boom. I have an announcement, everyone. What's the meaning of this? We're in the middle of a trial here. Please remain calm and listen carefully. Someone has reactivated the bomb. The bomb was defused, but it's about to explode. Explode? A bomb? Now? Everybody run! I don't want to die! Oh no, everybody's panicking. Headless chickens with a death wish. The lot of you, calm yourselves before all else. Come on, Apollo, let's get out of here. Help Mr. Starbuck's dream, and who will carry out Clay's final wish? I don't care what happens to me. I'm not letting some bomb blow the truth up forever. I refuse to let things end here. Apollo, this is no time to be dramatic. If we don't get out of here now, we're gonna die. Come on, this way. Hey, ouch! Let me go. So Apollo's eye was injured before the blast. Okay, I think that's what also threw me off too, because I thought his eye got injured during the blast. But, okay. I think I'm following everything now. Apollo! Juniper, she hasn't evacuated now. Oh, right. Juniper, are you alright? Apollo, no! Oh, sorry. Apollo, no, not that... Uh-oh. Well, we know what happens here. And then this is when case 1 happens. Big explosion. TBC. Interesting. Oh, no. In the middle of the Space Center bombing trial, we had another bombing incident. This one destroyed courtroom number 4. Furthermore, Apollo suffered massive injuries from being there when the bomb went off. So this is why Apollo left? Was to try to get justice for Clay? Maybe? Unfortunately, Juniper Woods was fingered as the courtroom bomber. Athena and I knew she had to be innocent, so we took her case on. We managed to clear Miss Wood's name. But Apollo sustained further injuries when he was attacked by Destinies. Three days later. Okay. Alright, anything agency. We're playing as Phoenix now. Apollo is a tough guy, but this is taking its toll on him. Yeah, poor guy. Being attacked by Destinies. Like, on top of all of his other injuries. Apollo is resting at the nearby Hickfield Clinic. I've had some experience with that place myself. What an awful turn of events. I never thought he'd land in a hospital of all places. Juicy. You must miss him too, huh? Now that you don't have anybody to tease. Don't worry, he's young. He'll heal quickly. Be back before you know it. It's been a while since I last saw Trucy look so down. We won the court case, yet nobody feels much like celebrating. Alright, enough of this, people! This is no time to be moping around. Now, dry those eyes, both of you! You're the one who's crying, Athena. Technicalities. Look, we have work to do. We have to take over. Take over what exactly? Apollo Space Center case, of course. As no verdict's been reached, there's still a chance. I agree with Athena. We should pick up Mr. Starbucks' defense. We have to avenge our fallen comrade. Right, Daddy? Apollo hasn't exactly fallen. He's still alive, you know. Good, now that that's settled, let's get going. Come on, we gotta run. Wait, right, now? We better not be running the whole way. There she goes. Better go catch up. Can you take care of the office, Trucy? Sure thing, Daddy. Let's be careful out there. In the meantime, I'm gonna bake some cookies and fill up my magic panties for you. Trucy seems to be feeling a little better. Can always count on Athena to perk everybody up with her enthusiasm. Oh, she's back. Already? Don't mind me, just forgot a few things. Wallet, phone, the documents, my back, you forgot everything. Hi, OMG fam. Good evening to you too. Hope you're doing well today. How is everything? Sounds more like you forgot everything. I can always count on Athena for that too. Alright, you two. Let's be careful out there. So our client is one Mr. Solomon Starbuck. He's so famous, even I've heard of him. That's right. He's a super famous astronaut who works for the Cosmos Space Center. He was actually up in outer space 7 years ago. Seem to know quite a bit about him. Now I'm all excited to meet the man. Oh, he's depressed again. Wow, that was the longest sigh I've ever heard. Apollo told me all about you. You're Phoenix, right? Apollo's mentor, right? Yeah, that's right. Mentor has a nice ring to it. Don't worry about a thing, Mr. Starbuck. Mr. Wright and I have got you covered. Ah, you're the new kid that Apollo told me about. Wait, don't I know you from somewhere? Huh? You mean other than at your trial? I don't think so. Oh, I guess my mistake. My memory isn't what it's used to be. My mind and body are kaput. Same goes for my life. I mean, I'm so astronomically unlucky that I had a bomb go off in the middle of my trial. Trying to defend me would be like trying to enter the stratosphere without a spacecraft. Yikes, he seriously got to stop depressing himself. Cheer up, Mr. Starbuck. Besides, that thing you said about entering the stratosphere, that just means we'd shine like shooting stars, right? Like shooting stars, huh? Oh, you know, you're right. Why didn't I think of that? After all, that's what we were all put on this earth to do, right? To shine like stars. I guess I shouldn't mention the fact that shooting stars burn out in a flash. Oh, yeah. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. To the stratosphere and beyond. Yeah, I feel alive now. You can go ahead and ask me anything you want. Is that really all it takes? Alright. The case. So, you have no memory at all of the incident. I'm so ashamed. My memory of the time is as black and clouded as a dark nebula. Still, it's strange you don't remember a thing. Are you sure you didn't take one of those anti-anxiety pills that, like they said at the trial? Yeah, but there were traces found in the system. It is true I developed a fear of space because that's what happened 7 years ago. And I was taking medication secretly every now and then when my anxiety got bad. Having a fear of space is not something an astronaut can brag about, you know. Oh, the so-called Hat 1 miracle. Must have been a terrifying experience. But I'm still an astronaut at heart, come what may. I would never take drugs that might impede my performance, just before a launch. That launch meant everything to me. That's more certain than the theory of relativity. Seems like a completely different person now. This is the face of the astronaut I know. But the tranquilizers were found in your system. Yeah. See, that's the thing. But I don't know why I'm done for. You didn't take them. Maybe somebody slipped them to you. Exactly. That's what I thought. It must have been the real culprit. My medication was in my locker. Anybody could have gotten their hands on it. Alright. Maybe the real culprit also planted the detonator switch in your pocket. Yeah, that's gotta be it. I've been framed. I'll say, they even managed to plant your print on the switch before slipping it in. It's a real possibility. Do you remember anything else that might be relevant? Anything at all. No matter how small. Like, about the murder weapon, for example. That knife. I think it came from one of the Space Center's utility kits. Utility kits? Yeah. Staff who worked on machinery a lot are given these special toolkits to use. All the technicians have them, so I doubt you could prove whose knife it is. Okay, interesting. The Hat 1 miracle. As I recall, your last trip into space was 7 years ago, right? That's right, it was. Pretty rough experience during that mission. We had all kinds of problems with the craft. You did? What kind of problems? Power failure, oxygen leakage, busted radio, cracked windows, loose control column. The heat shield came off as we were entering the atmosphere. I thought I was goner, but I managed to make it somehow with the popsicles and ice packs from the freezer. No wonder they dubbed the Hat 1. They dubbed it the Hat 1 miracle. It's a miracle you made it back. Space is a boundless place. That's why it continues to capture people's imaginations. But the vastness of space shows us how insignificant we are in the scheme of things. The darkness just goes on forever, and ever, and ever, without end. Oh no. Poor guy. There's nobody else there. Nobody was gonna come save me. I was all alone. All alone. With nothing to listen to but the sound of my own breath and heartbeat. I kept scrambling to make repairs, but I couldn't keep my hands from shaking. Experience like that would make anybody afraid to go up into space. With the experience you had, weren't you dreading this mission? What? No way, of course not. Even now I want to go up into space so bad, I can barely stand it. I want to shake up the Earth's gravity at escape velocity and spin around weightlessness. But you have to admit, it was pretty harrowing. Weren't you even a tiny bit afraid? I was afraid. Of course I was. Still am. But space is man's final frontier, an unknown world. The cosmic truth is out there, waiting for us, somewhere. The cosmic truth, huh? Guess there are people looking for the truth in every walk of life. No matter how afraid I am, I'm sure I can manage. If I give in to my fear, I'll never find the truth. As long as I don't give up, I can keep up the fight. One thing's for sure, Mr. Starbuck's passion for space is undeniably the real deal. Yeah. What do you know about the victim? The victim, Clay Terra. He was kind of like your protege, wasn't he? Well, it wasn't a big exaggerated deal like master and apprentice or anything, but Clay did think of me as his mentor. The mentor and the protege. What a combination they must have been. With his encouragement, I knew I could get over my fear and go back into space. But now... Clay must have been very encouraging, huh? Yeah, it's funny, really. Whenever I'd hear him shout, "You're fine!" I always got the feeling everything really was gonna be just fine. You're fine? Apollo says I'm fine, and you're fine all the time too. I always feel encouraged too, whenever I hear him shout it. Yeah, Clay and Apollo were best buds. They used to come visit the Space Center a lot, ever since they were high school kids. One day, out of the blue, Clay even told me he wanted to be my protege. Those two hung around the Space Center so much, they were like a part of the staff. One time during zero-G training, I started to panic a little bit, and the two of them took turns shouting, "You're fine!" over the radio. It was a simple thing, but it was exactly what I needed to hear. Oh, that's kind of cute. So I'm fine and you're fine, like Apollo and Clay's secret phrases, huh? I could ask Apollo more about Clay and their relationship now. Speaking of Clay, how do you suppose he climbed down the ladder with you over his shoulder? Sorry, but I can't even begin to imagine. But he actually did climb down that ladder. So a way has to exist. From the freedom of space to the walls of a cell. But that prosecutor said the dark night sky isn't half bad through barred windows. You're fine! Solomon Soul Starbuck is fine. Everything is going to be alright. Huh? And Athena Sykes is fine. Come on, Mr. Wright. You too. Do I really have to? Phoenix Wright is fine. I can't hear you. Phoenix Wright is fine. We'll get you back into space yet, Mr. Starbuck. Believe in your own innocence and have faith in us. Apollo believed in you wholeheartedly, and that's good enough for me. I believe in you too. Thank you. Thank you, both of you. I'll put my faith in you. And I vow to make it back into space. All I need first is a not guilty verdict. Seems nice to reassure ourselves every now and then that we're all fine. I agree. Okay, Mr. Wright. Let's get our investigation of the Space Center started. Pronto! Good idea. Let's go. Alright. Let's go. December 19th. Cosmos Space Center. Very sunny sky for December 19th. Oh, I guess I'm used to the UK. Wow. I was wondering what kind of place this Space Center would be. Almost looks like an amusement park of the future. Well, yeah, it looks kind of like the entrance to Epcot. Yeah, did you know they even let the public see their rockets up close? Oh, so check it out. Look at how brightly the Gyaxa logo shines in the sunlight above the entranceway. I really dig the stars and rocket motif it's got going on. Yeah, that's a cool logo. Gyaxa, huh? Isn't it the new name of the Federal Space R&D program? Yeah, but why a strange acronym? I mean, what is GIA supposed to stand for? Galaxy? If that were it, then the whole thing would be like Galaxy Exploration Agency? Which, if you ask me, I'd have abbreviated to GAXA. Or even Gaia? I guess so. Oh, I know. Maybe the person who came up with the name just really likes the letter Y. This exchange is beginning to feel oddly like deja vu. Anyway, this place is more than just a research facility. It's also a tourist attraction. Tourist attraction? Don't make me laugh. It's a monument to the human race. Galactic scooter, full speed ahead. Who's this? Oh, it's wait, no, I don't know who this is. Who's this? You've got some epic music, though. Look upon me. Look well. Behold the power of space science. Pardon me, but you are? My glorious name. Okay, this is Yuri. I wasn't 100% sure. But judging by his outfit and his demeanor, I was gonna guess. I am the director of the Cosmos Space Center. The center of the cosmos. Hi, PQ. Boss, that was pretty groan-inducing. This person is the Space Center's director. And that means... Ah, so you were the one to first discover Clay's body. And who was the first to find the victim? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Yuri Cosmos. That is correct. I was honored to be the very first man in all of space and time to discover the body. But there's talk of the incident. Are you by any chance the space police? You can't tack the word space onto just any old thing, you know. Well, we're Mr. Starbuck's lawyers. We're here to investigate the case. Oh, and we're Earth lawyers, by the way. Thanks, Dina. I see. Yes, I've heard about you. In that case, by my esteemed privilege, I grant you permission to investigate. I trust you are appropriately grateful. Now, go ahead. Have at it. You can already tell he's going to be nothing but trouble. Don't let him hear you say that. You'll see what trouble really is. Let's just be professional. I'll ask him about where he found the body, okay? Sure. Yuri Cosmos. So, as the director, what do you do here at the Space Center specifically? Defend peace across the galaxy and promote space development in this country. Okay. No matter what obstacles stand in our way, we keep going for the sake of mankind. I believe I used the word specifically in my question. Yes, what do you do? Attention all personnel. To your break stations. Prepare for break. Oh my god, this guy is so intense. Get it? You just wander around and tell people what to do. Athena! Inner monologue, Athena. Inner monologue. Oh, he's agreeing with it. My manner is important. Mr. Wright, this man doesn't get sarcasm. Well, there's bound to be some people like that here in the boundlessness of space. What's that? You want to know what it is that makes me important specifically? Very well. I will tell you. I was the central figure of the Hat One project. Oh, so you were the one that made sure everything went wrong. I see. This is the guy that almost killed everybody who was on that project. You may proceed to be appropriately repressed. Now, go ahead. Have at it. Yeah, it was a huge failure. He almost died. Poor Starbuck. You scarred him for life, bro. I might be more impressed if I knew what he did for it, specifically. Could you tell us what you know about the incidents from the other day? I refuse. Huh? Explaining is a job for the common folk, not the director of the center of the cosmos. Why do you keep turning away from me? My testimony, which will go down in space history, will be heard in the courtroom. What? So does that mean you'll be taking the stand tomorrow? That is correct. I will be. The most glorious witness in the history of mankind. I'm not sure he really understands what what being a witness is all about. Looks like Director Cosmos is the type that only talks about what he wants to talk about. Then let's at least try to ask him about the things he might be willing to open up about. About Hat One. The Hat One was a rocket that was launched into space 7 years ago, correct? And despite numerous problems, it somehow made its way back home? I suppose it is part of my job to educate ignorant young folk like you. Very well. I will impart to you the complete story of the Hat One project. Oh, thank you very much. Do I need to hear the entire thing? Hat One's noble mission was to collect samples from an asteroid, and Mr. Starbuck was the pilot for that flight. Eventually, the Hat One reached its planned orbit, from where it launched the Hope probe towards the asteroid belt. From there, the Hope probe began its long, lonely journey into the far reaches of space. Then, after a terrifying struggle, the Hat One returned safely to Earth. That struggle was when the incident known as the Hat One miracle occurred, right? Correct. And it truly was a miracle. Of course, they just had to turn the ordeal into a movie. As for the Hope probe, it did eventually arrive safely at its destination. It obtained a few samples from the asteroid and returned to Earth but a few days ago. Oh, so that's... Okay, so those are the samples that Clay was carrying. So what kind of samples are they? What's in them? The samples are scheduled for analysis in the near future. We haven't had any time since they just came back the day before Terran's murder. Watch how it's just a bunch of Temsec. Regrettably, we had no time to inspect the samples due to everything that has occurred. But this puts our space development program ahead of the other countries by several years. It's quite impressive. Guess this guy isn't just a loudmouth braggart after all. In the golden age of space development, our predecessors were successful in bringing a moon rock back. That is the greatest achievement in the history of the space sector. The public fell in love with space and all of its glorious potential. Moon rock, huh? I remember that being big, yeah. Our endeavors with the moon rock live on in our work with those asteroid samples. I want to bestow new hopes and dreams for the future upon mankind once again. That is my mission, as the man who stands at the center of the cosmos. You hear there's lots of research into moon rocks and stardust from asteroids these days. They say the results could potentially have a huge impact on all of civilization. It's like we're in a new space race with every other country out there. What? Bite your tongue. It's not for anything so base as money or politics. It's all for the brilliant future that awaits mankind, and all for my illustrious mission. With the recent budget cuts, my staff tells me finances are tight, but I won't hear it. Guess even a space program has to watch its budget. By the way, you seem awfully knowledgeable about this kind of thing, Athena. Huh? Oh, well, you know, I thought I'd better brush up for the case. Is that so? Well, I will be on my way. As you can see, I am very busy, and I'm a very important man. Galactic Scooter, fire up that main engine. Max battle speed, and engage! Thing is surprisingly fast. Guess we better get going too. You bet. Let's make it so. Where to now? Boarding lounge. Ooh, cute. Cosmos Space Center, boarding lounge. So this is where Mr. Terran was murdered. Yeah, this is the lounge. Let's see that diagram the police made again. Right now we're in the main building here on the right side of the 3rd floor. Clay and Mr. Starbuck fled here from Launch Pad 1 after the explosion. You there! No admittance without express permission! We're Mr. Starbuck's lawyers! We've come to investigate. Sorry, nobody gets in without permission. Not even the police superintendent. Can't have Detective Fulbright getting mad at me. Alright. So Detective Fulbright is here, huh? Yeah, he's in the Launchpad 1 corridor. Go get clearance from him, and then we'll talk. Leave it to me. I'm great at getting intel out of Detective Fulbright. Let's see. What trick should I use on him today? I don't know if I should be grateful or afraid. So, to get to the Launchpad 1 corridor, just to go through that door with the blue rocket on it, I think. Wait, that door. It's awfully familiar. Good eye there, boss. It does. This is the door Clay and Mr. Starbuck used during their escape from the launch pad. Okay. And that explains it. The fingerprint system has been deactivated, so I think we could just pass through. Now, come on, let's go. Alright, sure. Launchpad 1 corridor. I'm gonna talk to Fulbright, I think it said. So this is it, huh? This is the corridor the two of them used in their escape. Yep, this is the only thing connecting Launchpad 1 with the main building. See police tape down at the other end. Guess we won't be looking at the launch pad. After the explosion, the whole corridor must have been filled with smoke. And the launch pad itself was probably a sea of flames. Must have been pretty scary for them. Now, where could Detective Fulbright be? Hey, I think that's him over there. There he is. What should I do? Which path is the path of justice? He seems to be lost. That's funny. This corridor is a straight shot. Come on, Fulbright. Huh. Ah, it's you, the lawyer people. Welcome to the Space Center. Enjoying a relaxing day off, are you? Here for a little rocket sightseeing? No, we're here to defend the Hello? Dude, come on. We're here to investigate the scene, same as you. You have any info to share? Boss, if he acts at all reluctant to give us information, we hit him with the whatever shall we do act. I'm sure he'll fall for it. Got it? Are we trying to catch the unruly family dog here or something? Info on the case, huh? Alright, I'll gladly share some with you. Oh, okay. Huh? What just happened? Detectives and lawyers seeking truth and justice side by side. I like it. Just take whatever you want from me. You info bandits. I'm in a generous mood today. Oh, perfect. I don't know. There's something weird about Detective Fulbright today. Well, we need information, so let's just run with it. If you say so. Talk to him. My crime scene. Detective Fulbright, could you give us permission to investigate the crime scene? There's an officer on guard, and we can't get in. Oh, whatever shall we do? That's an easy one. I'll let them know over there to let you in. This is a little weird, right? He's always been very reluctant about this, and then we have to trick him. But he literally is just letting us in. Investigate to your heart's content. Take a week if you need it. A month even. Shall I have some snacks delivered? One of my men gives a mean neck rub. Huh? Huh? What's he doing? What's he doing? Mel! Good morning! Good afternoon! Good evening. I don't know how jet lagged you are from Cancun, but... Hello, hello! I hope you're doing well. Mel, I wore this all during Sonic Adventure 2 today, and I PB'd by 4 minutes, so... Thank you. It was the strength. I got so many compliments. How are you today? Hope you had a fantastic time. I can't wait to hear all about it. I get to see you soon. I'm so excited. You're so tired. I hope you can catch up on some sleep. Soon. Eyes emoji. Also, I still really want to watch Black Mirror. But we can wait until I'm there as well. We can do that too. But anyway, I hope you're doing well. It's good to see you back. And I love some of the pictures that I did get to see. No, that's okay. But thanks. Definitely not the Fulbright I know. Yeah, he's acting very weird. Fulbright is acting sickeningly sweet. It's kind of gross, actually. I think he hit his head or something? Oh, no, you're fine. You should enjoy your holiday anyway. I was just living vicariously through you, because I'm sure when we catch up, you just get to tell me all about it anyway. As you don't know, I'm going to see Mel in 10 days, and I haven't seen her in 10 months. So it'll be pretty fun. Who knows? Whatever the case, it's making our lives way easier. What happened exactly? You were here at the Space Center at the time of the incidents, weren't you, Detective? That's right, I was here on a security assignment. The police are required to secure rocket launches now? I didn't know that. Yes, well, you know us. To serve and protect. Ha 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 ha. The explosions occurred while I was here on duty, so I started leading the evacuation. It's leaving out a lot of details, but alright. Tell us more about what happened? Of course, a bomb went off on the second floor of the main building. Alright, we know that. Right after that, the one over on Launchpad 1 also blew sky high, so that one happened on the middle level of the rocket. Right? So I immediately instructed the visitors and employees to evacuate to the shelter. The shelter? That's right, there's an evacuation okay, you're right. Phoenix is learning about this for the first time. The shelter on basement 1. It's there for accidents and emergencies and the like. So where were you when the first bomb went off? I was on duty on the 4th floor. It was quite the madhouse, I tell you. 4th floor, okay? The elevator wasn't working, on account of the explosion. And the stairs on the 2nd floor were destroyed, so we couldn't go that way. Then it's impossible. Wasn't it impossible to get down to the basement shelter? No, we lowered an emergency ladder from a 4th floor window and escaped that way. It was a falling ladder, so it wasn't very stable, but at least it reached the ground. After I secured the ladder, I left to take another look around for any other survivors. Once everyone else got out safely, I made my way down to and headed to the shelter. Wow, what an ordeal! But climbing down an emergency ladder kind of sounds fun. Athena? Athena's ideas of fun are very interesting sometimes. Thank you for your answers, Detective. They were very helpful. Just a moment. I have more information to share with you. You want to share more with me, bro? But don't tell Prosecutor Blackwell, okay? Wow. Prosecutor Blackwell usually has you on a short leash too. Well, never mind that. Ha ha! I thought you should know that there was a witness. There was a to the murder? Why was this not brought up yesterday? Or not yesterday, the 3 days ago. Could you tell us more about this witness? Sure thing. The witness was a Space Center employee who was on the 4th floor. While she was climbing down, she looked through a window into the 3rd floor lounge. So, she was looking into the crime scene from the outside? That's right! It was just a matter of chance that she saw something important. Not that I know what she saw exactly yet, though. You don't? But that's the most important thing of all. Ha ha ha! Don't you worry, I'll get around to interviewing her soon enough. She should still be in here somewhere in the Space Center. You might even run into her. A 4th floor employee, huh? Alright. Thanks for the info, Detective Fulbright. Gee, you sure are being cooperative, detective. A little too cooperative, even. Yes. Well, actually, something you can't talk about? Yeah, something like that. Anyway, never mind. Don't worry about me. Well, I'll be on my way now. That's really interesting. What would make him change his tone like that? I guess we're playing as Phoenix now, so maybe that might be part of it. Something is definitely going on. I'm gonna get it out of him the next time I see him. All right. Not so sure he'll talk about it though. Well, we have permission to investigate now. Let's head back to the boarding lounge. Talking about the anti-anxiety medication, but I don't think he was anxious. Would that make him open up more? I don't know. Ah, you two. Detective Fulbright has granted you permission to investigate. He also said I should bring you some snacks and give you a neck rub too, if you'd like. That's alright. But thank you for the offer. Well, time to roll up our sleeves and start investigating. Now, let's see. Where's that diagram again? So this lounge is on the 3rd floor of the main building. According to Apollo, this is where he believes a third party killed his friend. Well, let's stop the recap and start looking for traces of this third person then. You read my mind, Athena. We'll make that our first priority. There's just one problem though. This room. It's just so big. Don't worry. We can use this to help. Oh, the pamphlet. Space Center pamphlet? For tourists? Yep, picked it up at the entrance. The maps inside should come in handy. Let's see. Yep, here it is. A map of the lounge. Okay. This is the door we went through to talk to Detective Fulbright. Oh yeah, that's the door with the fingerprint recognition lock. Well, I guess this map will make things a little easier. Okay. Yeah, no more excuses. Let's track down this third person. Wait, there's just one more thing. What's that strange creature moving around outside the window? That's what I was wondering too. Oh, boss, it's just a holographic image. Oh, yeah, I knew that. Oh, that's a relief. Should be a button in this room somewhere to turn the image on and off. Alright. That's what it says in the pamphlet anyway. The only reason you're so eager to start is so that you can push that button, isn't it? And what's wrong with that? Let's just look for the button while we look for clues. Alright, fine. Let's get investigating. Alright. Let's change the camera angle. Where was the body found? Am I blind? Wasn't it found in this room? Maybe they picked up the... No, why would... They're not supposed to. Oh, it's right here. Oh my god. I'm blind. Maybe I need to go to bed. So this is where they discovered Wei. Yep, he was already dead when they found it. Take a look at the photo. Yeah, no, that's my fault. I literally just got... okay, to be fair, I wasn't expecting it to be the shade of white that it was. I was looking for something a bit bolder. But, nah, that was just my fault. So he was stretched out like this, and huh? What's that thing that looks like a thermos? That's what I initially thought too. It was a very small thermos, but no, it's just the samples. He said that it contained asteroid samples. Oh right, Director Cosmos mentioned something about that too, didn't he? Though they were brought back only 5 days ago by the probe the Hat 1 launched. I wonder what they look like. Do you think they'll let us see? Let's think about that after we've solved the case, okay? So that could be another motive, right? In terms of the fact that the Hat 1, maybe the Hat 1 didn't bring back anything and it's all fabricated and Clay discovered it and then they killed him. Everything's false. Everything's a lie. NASA's lying to you, chat. The moon landing is fake. Yada yada yada. What is this? This is also what I wanted to do. No matter how I look at it, all I can think of is torture device. No, that looks so fun. I would love to sit in that chair. Wouldn't you? I guess it's a training device for getting... Oh, fair enough. Okay. Oh, cool. Okay. Uh-oh. Athena has an odd glint in her eye. Is she thinking about trying that thing out? I should try to stop her. But I'm afraid she'll just out-muscle me. I've always wanted to go on those space flights that simulate zero gravity. You know, where they, like, dive down and then quickly turn. So that the centripetal force like kind of pushes you into zero gravity. Yeah, they call it the vomit comet. But that would be so fun. But I think it's really expensive. Oh yeah, I forgot that Athena is like stupidly strong, isn't she? Hey, Mr. Wright, look at that up there. Some kind of fragment? Oh. I didn't even notice that. Stuck in tight. Color looks familiar. I think it's part of the oxygen tank. Oh. Interesting. Means Clay's tank ruptured after they arrived at the boarding lounge. To Prosecutor Blackwell's theory that Mr. Starbuck dropped Clay down the ladder must be wrong. This proves that both the astronauts were alive when they reached the boarding lounge. Okay, that's good information. Apollo is right. The scene of the murder wasn't the launch pad. Hee hee! Way to go, Apollo! Okay. Well, how much is... Oh, we can Google it. How much is a trip on the vomit comet? How much is a trip on the vomit? It looks like around $5,000. If I'd rather have the whole plane to myself, it's $165,000. Chat, who wants to go with me? Who wants to split $165,000? We'll have the whole plane to ourselves. $5,000 is actually not as much as I thought. I thought it'd be a bit more than that. I'm actually seeing Cade in a couple weeks, Sakura. So I could ask him. At first glance, it looks like a peaceful landscape. But then there's that creature. Didn't the Hope probe go to some planet? Maybe this is what its surface looked like. I don't know. I think it would have made the news if they discovered a creature like that. It did make quite a bit of news though when the probe came back. Yeah, see, I have a feeling. I mean, this is very much a shot in the dark, but the fact that the probe didn't make it and that the samples are fake is very good. It's a motive that can definitely be true. So it's an idea, but again, that is just a guess. But they have talked about it a little. Hi, Harrison. It's going well. How are you today? Apex yesterday was super fun. You're just too good at the game, man. Hope we can play it more soon. It's a big rock kind of thing. Even aliens can't live there. Also, hi, Fowl. Thanks for the raid. How are you today? Okay, so where does this door go? Don't I have... It was great. I also love playing with Cat too. He's lovely. Just the diagram I want. Oh, the pamphlet. So this one goes to the corridor. This one goes to the control room, I'm guessing then. So it looks like there are 3 doors that lead in and out of this room. Well, let's check. Drum roll, please. Ta-da! The Space Center pamphlet. Thanks, Adina. We're here at this place that says Boarding Lounge 1. Here there are 3 doors. Let's call them Lefty, Righty, and Downy. Thanks. Usually people say West, East, and South in a case like this, you know. Details, details. Anyway, take a look at the west door. That door with the rocket icon leads to Launchpad 1. I know because it says here on the map. Launchpad 1 corridor. That's where we just were. It's filled with smoke after the explosion. Next, right. Next up, the right-hand side of the map, or east in your world. In everybody's world. That's the door with the satellite dish icon. To signify communication, aka the control room. Yep, it definitely says control room. Looks like it has another door on the opposite side. What does it do? Signify communication. Okay. Communicate and exchange information with rockets and probes in space from there. Okay, good information to have. So it's the center of the Space Center. The Space Center, if you will. Does everybody start to talk like Director Cosmos after they've been here a while? You can tell that she's like into space, which makes me like her more. She's very cool. But it seems that they built a new command center on the 6th floor. That's what they used the Hat 2 mission. That's what they used for the Hat 2 mission. So this control room was empty at the time. I've always wanted to see the inside of a mission control room, and since we're here, I'd love to do that too. But it doesn't look like we'll be able to. They want to keep curious kids like you out. So the door is protected with fingerprint recognition. Only the director can go through. That much security. I'm definitely not the one they're looking to keep out, Dina. So apparently, the lock is also hooked up to a backup generator in case of emergencies. Okay, what about that last door? This lower door? Oh, excuse me. I mean, south door. It leads to the elevators. Let me see. What is the icon on the right? This is the door we came through when we entered this room, right? Yep. And of course, there was no fingerprint recognition device, so it's open to anyone. Well, the elevators weren't working at the time due to the explosion. There have definitely been a couple bad characters, or characters that... Well, they're definitely characters that you're not meant to like. They're written for you to dislike on purpose. But there have also definitely been characters that I could do without. Well, that's about it for the 3 musketeers of the boarding lounge. Thanks. Understanding the layout of the lounge should help us understand the case. That's why I thought we'd better have a good grasp of where all the doors go. Agree. What the heck is this? Oh. Like moon surface or asteroid surface? Here's another amazing piece of equipment. Walk on the surface of the moon, it says. Oh boy, I want to try it. Gravity is weak on the moon, so I bet I could do some mid-air somersault. Oh, so that's what it does. It like straps you and then simulates the 1/6 gravity. We're still on Earth, remember? Besides, it's connected to the ceiling. Well, at least I could jump really high. There's a sign on the wall that very clearly says, don't jump too high. Then what good is this thing? Didn't I say in the beginning? Walk on the surface of the moon. That's pretty cool. Like that. I love that diagram. It's great. Danger, danger. Ooh, shiny. Shiny? Hey, I see something shiny down there. Let's take this cover off then. What's this? Is that a bullet? Metal jelly bean. It's really small, but it's a bullet. Only about 2 to 3 millimeters in diameter. What the heck? Why is there a bullet here? I see no signs of a gun being used in this place at all, including the murder. So what's a bullet doing here? Let's see. That would make the caliber 10? Caliber refers to the diameter of a gun's barrel, right? Yeah. But I've never heard of a 10 caliber gun before. Well, it must be for a special kind of gun. But if you tried firing a bullet this small with a regular sized gun, it would just fall right out. Yeah, it must have been a really small gun. Wonder how the bullet ended up here. I mean, we're in the bottom left of the south door of the side of the room, according to this map. It's pretty far from where Clay's body was. Maybe the police didn't think to look here. Yeah, leave it to Detective Fulbright to accidentally hand us the card we need. This is one of the weirdest pieces of evidence I've had, because it just doesn't relate to anything at all. It's very interesting. What's this? What's this? Trapdoor? It's a trash chute. The cleaning robot throws the garbage out from here. The robots do the cleaning? What a futuristic world we live in. Yeah, I mean, normally, like, especially if there was a gun involved, but we just haven't seen any evidence of any gun at all. So it's just really weird for there just to be a random bullet here. Hope they don't revolt like they do in the science fiction movies. No way, all the robots here are very nice. Actually, wasn't there one in the Launchpad 1 corridor? We can go say hi to it if you want. Okay. Alright, let's examine. So this goes to the Launchpad 1. Oh, look at the fingerprint sensor. So this is the fingerprint recognition device. I guess if you put your hand on this mark... Why guess when you can try? Now, to line my hand up with the outline. Don't, Athena. This thing is related to the case. Get your prints all over that, and the next thing you know, you'll be named a suspect. Oh, how can you be so cruel to a little girl like me? I'm not buying those tears, Missy. And then what's this? Emergency override or something? Wonder what this big knob is for. Looks like the kind of knob on a stove. Well, it's the same shape, but I think that's where the similarities end. I mean, it's behind a glass pane. What kind of stove would require knob security like this? Well, the knob is straight up and down. So if it was for a stove, the burner would be off. Right. If it was for a stove. Still, I wonder what it's really for. Something turned on by a knob that's not a stove? How about a rocket engine? If you had to start the engine here, the rocket would take off before you could get in. I guess all we can say for now is that it's a mystery knob. Mystery knob. Mystery knob. Let's see. This door is no, it's the we just talked about it, Athena. Come on. Launchpad 1 corridor door. Here we are. It's the door to the corridor that leads to Launchpad 1. We went through it earlier when we went to talk to Detective Fulbright. Alice. No. So I guess the security lock must be disengaged now, right? They say the corridor was filled with smoke at the time of the bombing. Thing besides is the door. That must be the fingerprint recognition device. Which reminds me, I think Prosecutor Blackwell talked about it at the trial. He did indeed. Talked about how the only people who could use it were the victim and the defendant. Of course, if that's not the case, then it opens up a whole bunch of different other possibilities. Number of authorized personnel was only supposed to be really small. Voila! Fingerprint powder! Just brought it up in case something like this came up. I found it at the office. I've been just itching for a chance to use it. Wow, way to think ahead. Now, let's dust the fingerprint recognition device and see what we can find. You got it. Now to sprinkle some here and a little over there. Oh, we don't get to do it? This is one of my favorite parts of Apollo Justice. Getting to sprinkle the luminol and the powder. Well, you don't sprinkle the luminol. You spray the you know what I mean. And then blow. See what we have here. Oh, we got something. Aw, it's only a single set of prints. Isn't that a good thing? Sure wish we could figure out whose prints these are. Although, I doubt we'll be so lucky as to get the culprit's prints on the first try. Well, I'm willing to bet that Detective Fulbright has some fingerprint data. Right, and there's the security footage and then there's the security footage of the door too. Yep, here it is. Came up in court the other day. Wish we can see the part of the footage just after this bit. Oh, because that would be right before the murder, wouldn't it? Let's ask the detective. The mood he's in. He'll probably show it right to us right away. Yeah, he's in almost too good of a mood today. Let's go and see if we can find him again once we're done with this room. Oh, the vase. Or the vase. Oh, what's this green thing? That's some pretty futuristic looking furniture over there. According to the pamphlet, those are no ordinary chairs. They're like amusement park teacup rides. My favorite. You can power them yourself, it says. If you spin the table, your chair spins too. Oh, baby. My favorite. When you guys go on teacup rides, do you guys spin it as fast as you could? There's only one correct answer. As a team, you work together to spin it. It worked, from my experience, it works best with 2 people, because when you have more, then it weighs it really hard to build up the spin. So if you get 2 light people, and then you spin. Why would anybody want to have something like that here? It's for astronauts who have trouble with the device on the ceiling. No vertical spins. It says it's a training device that's easy on the eyes and on the body. A person really call themselves an astronaut if they can't handle 0G? That's kind of mean, Apollo. What's this? No. Oh, what's this? Some kind of panel with 2 buttons on it. Just push it! That's the invariable principle of buttons. Yeah, Athena gets me. There are such things as buttons left unpushed. Not in my world. Oh, that's the thing that turns off the holograph. Okay. That side of the wall seems kind of barren without it now. Still, let's see if we can't find anything new with the image off. Can we find something new with the image off? I mean, on the wall? What's this? Cobweb? Hey, Mr. Wright, take a look at this. Is this what the bullet hit? Maybe? Looks like a bullet hole. Great find, Athena. It's pretty big. Whoever fired the shot must have been using a pretty large gun. You think so? Based on my experience, I say this was fired from a regular pistol. Well, whatever size it was, somebody fired a gun in here, right? Apparently. This is an important fact. Do you see a bullet anywhere? No. The police might have taken it, though. Did they? I don't think the writers accounted for the fact that we'd find the bullet first. It's so funny. Did we find a bullet hole? Did we find a bullet anywhere? No, the police might have taken it though, when the bullet is literally right next to us in the evidence. so funny to me. It's so silly, but it's so funny. Oh, hello. Welcome to the Space Center, guest. Welcome. Yikes! What in the world? My name is Ponko. P-O-N-C-O. Ponko! Are you sightseeing? Are you lost? Are you looking around? Choose one. I will guide you. It's a robot? I am not a robot! I am Ponko! Psychological observation and navigation companion. Ponko. Well, I'm glad we got that clip. Oh, Ponko! I missed you! Huh? Do you know this thing, Athena? It looks kind of like Widget, so I'm guessing it's like a, from the same kind of design. Oh, she showed us around the last time when I came here with Apollo. Oh, you're such a good girl, Ponko. That's a good girl. Oh, thank you! Thank you! I'm so happy! So very happy! Yeah, it looks like, I mean, Athena loves technology and this kind of stuff, so right up her alley. Hi, Omega, welcome back! Wow, a guide robot. That's pretty cool. Omega, you missed when we found the bullet first, and then we found the bullet hole. And then, wait, hang on. I wonder if we'll scroll back and I'll get to it. Yeah, we found the bullet at this point. And then Phoenix asked, do you see a bullet anywhere? And Athena goes, no, the police might have taken it. And then we put the bullet hole in our court record, and the bullet is literally right next to it. That was pretty funny. I don't know you. I don't know you. Huh? Ouch, that hurt. Oh, she has to register people she meets for the first time. Please register him, Ponko. Certainly. Commencing guest registration. Please tell me your name. A nickname is fine too. His name is Phoenix. Bit overly familiar, but I'll allow it. Phoenix, please let me get a good look at your face. Oh, sure. Registering. Facial registration sequence complete. We are now officially friends. Nice to meet you, Phoenix. Huh? This robot is pretty cute. I agree. You made a friend, boss. Isn't it great? Phoenix! Athena! Allow me to guide you. Right this way. Oh, goody. Let's go, boss. Go where? Where are we going? I'm officially friends. Yeah, once I know somebody's name and then I look at their face for 10 seconds, I become their friend. Oh, we're in the Space Center. Okay, perfect. Whoa. Ooh. Oh, wow. What is this place? Is that rocket real? What's up, Waddle? Thanks for the good luck. Hope you're doing well today. Welcome! Welcome! Well, the Space Museum is open to the public every day of the year from 9 AM to 7 PM. Learn about the history of our nation's space development and the HAT-1 project. This rocket is just a replica, but it's the same size as the real one. Omega! I'm just gonna... Okay, so it's on the exact opposite side of the main building from Launchpad 1. I have 3 pages. Ask me anything, anything. I will explain. No, Akura, no. Special on display. 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. is definitely going to come up again. Hi, Punko. This is quite the place. Can't believe we get to see a rocket up this close. This is a replica of the Hat 1 that was launched 7 years ago. It's exactly like the real Hat 1, inside and out. Its little brother, the Hat 2, was supposed to launch the other day. Wonder if Ponko knows why the launch was cancelled. Over there is an exhibit about the launch 7 years ago. Check it out! Check it out! Spacesuits, photos, newspaper articles. I had to come here again on a day off. Hey, what's this? Oh, what's this a photo of? Oh! Okay. Did the other two not make it back? Or... because I haven't seen them. Well, there's Clay and Solomon. There's Mr. Starbuck. He looks so young, so different. Ah, and that's... What is it, Athena? Is something wrong? She recognizes somebody? Am I supposed to recognize somebody? This is the problem when you take too long of a break from a game. That's why I don't like doing it. I don't think I recognize the two ladies. Yeah, it's you, PQ? And you prove. I don't think so. So Mr. Starbuck really young too, that's all. Well, it was 7 years ago after all. It's the young guy standing next to Mr. Starbuck. It's Clay Terran, the victim. How old was Clay again? He's 23, so he was 16 here. He even got one of the staff jackets. It's just like a regular staff member. No, Clay was still a student then. He just borrowed one of Solomon's old jackets. Ah, okay, that makes sense. Clay would have still been in high school 7 years ago. Everybody looks so happy. Space Museum is great. What fantastic exhibits. This area used to be Launch Pad 2. That's why the only entrance is on the 3rd floor. Wouldn't it be better if they just made a new ground floor entrance instead? There was talk of it, but they had to scrap their plans because of budget cuts. Budget cuts! Budget cuts! We need more money! Money! Who would record that kind of information into a guide robot? Somebody who wants more money. While it was in space, the Hat 1 launched a probe called Hope. The Hope probe collected some samples from an asteroid and returned 5 days ago. That's what Director Cosmo said too. Told us it came back the day before Clay was killed. More... I feel like I might have guessed this. I don't know. But, again, if they need more money for the program... It doesn't make sense as to why they would bomb the second mission, though. But they could definitely be lying about the samples they collected for like extra funding, and then Clay just found out about it. Here it is, the Hope Space Probe. I think I've seen that logo somewhere before. This logo? It's not the same, it's not the Gyaxa logo, is it? I don't think so. Let's see. Oh yeah! Oh, from the capsule, okay. Capsule that the victim was carrying, yeah. I think it had the same logo. Can be seen in the photo attached to the autopsy report. I can. Maybe she'll give me some more info if I show it to her. Sure! Here you go. Bonko, do you recognize this capsule here in the top right? Checking registered data. I know! It's the Hope capsule. It was carried inside the Hope probe. It contained the asteroid samples, right? Yes! It was designed to store the samples gathered by the Hope probe. It's been stored in the safe in Launch Pad 1 ever since it returned to Earth. It must not be removed! It must not be removed! Oh. Don't worry, Ponko. The people in charge already know what happened. They do? They do? I must ask them later. So the capsule is being kept in Launch Pad 1. Maybe Clay was trying to carry it to safety after the explosion. Space Center staff must have been really excited to finally get the capsule back. But it's a pity the incident occurred before they got a chance to check out the content. Well, the police took it as evidence. Maybe they'll have to wait a little. Okay, so it's called the Hope Capsule. Okay, launchpad layout. The way the Space Center launchpad is set up is really cool. Would you like me to tell you about it? Would you? The setup of the launchpad? Go gentle in my spiky-haired mind. I want to know! I want to know! Phoenix wants to know too! Great, now Athena's got a case of Ponkoitis. Hooray! I will tell you then. The rocket is built right inside the launch pad structure. When the rocket is complete, it's moved along with the launch pad over the rails and brought into position at the launch site. Oh. Isn't it cool? Isn't it? We used to have a big budget, so that's how we could build it all. It's very cool. A grand setup that suits an important place like the Space Center. This is a lot of information. I'm trying to take it in. Guess everyone is hoping for a bigger budget next year, myself included. I'm guessing the whole thing is operated from the control room, huh? That it is, but it can also be operated from the new command center too, on the 6th floor, right? Either way, the safety lock in the boarding lounge has to first be disengaged. Guess before a big move like that can be carried out, there are all kinds of procedures. I'd love to see the launch pad being moved. When's the next one scheduled for? Searching, data. All future plans have been put on hold. Because of the bombing, right? And the murder, I'll bet. Which is perfectly understandable. Well, when was the last time it was moved? Searching, data. I'm sorry. That answer isn't in my answer database. Guess Bonko can only answer certain questions. Well, we certainly learnt a lot. I'm actually surprised that that answer isn't in her database. I feel like that would be a useful thing to input, but well, we certainly learned a lot about the Space Museum. Thank you, Pongo. Ponko? You explained everything very well. I love to explain. Thank you for listening. Thank you. You two are like old friends. Hard to believe you just met recently. Hehe. It's because Ponko is so friendly. Well, what should we investigate next? Let's go find Detective Fulbright. We have things to ask him about. Let's see. Security footage and the fingerprint data, was it? Okay then, let's go back to the Launchpad 1 corridor. Bye, Ponko. See you later. Come again. And don't forget to visit the gift shop. Poor Ponko. What a Dickensian life we all forced to lead. Dude, true statement right at the end. What should I do? Which path is the path of justice? There's Detective Fulbright. He still seems to be lost, even though it's a straight course. Is he okay? Has he been drugged? Let's hope he's still in a cooperative mood as well, then. If he doesn't cooperate, then I'll just have to use my powers on him. You mean that lady in distress bit? Bullet hole at scene, okay. Oh, path of I don't know. We found a bullet hole at this, in the wall at the crime scene. You did? Our team found that one too. It was Detective Arm who fired that bullet. Oh, Arm fired it? That's right, a warning shot for the defendant. Was it really such a high threat situation that she needed to do that? I'm afraid I don't know the details, but with Detective Arm gone and all. But I thought there were 2 people who discovered the crime scene together. We already know Detective Cosmos will testify. So tomorrow will be about what he knows. Hey, you're pretty smart. That's exactly what we're planning to serve as the main course. Hope it goes down easy. What if I present the actual bullet? Something for the lost and found? I'll be sure to take care of it. No, no, no. This is an important piece of evidence. Oh, he doesn't care about a bullet. Okay. Fine. There's two unrelated things. The bullet. Okay. Detective, we'd like to run a comparison on some prints we found in the boarding lounge. Ah, yes. I just happen to have compiled the print data of everyone related to this case. I can always make another copy for myself. So it's all yours. Consider it a gift. This is quite a bit of data. Well, when I said everyone, I meant it. Prosecutor Blackwell said to dig deep, and so that's what I did. Sure took a while though. Oh, he's got Apollo and my prints. He even got prints for all of the robots. Huh? Guess that when Blackwell said to dig deep, Fulbright didn't bother to ask how deep. Ah, Clay's fingerprints are here too. Yeah, do they match? I don't believe you took off his glove to get his fingerprints. Yeah, well, you can't blame me for thinking they're important in this case. Well, again, if Clay was the one who was carrying Solomon, then it should be his fingerprints, right? No, sorry, Akira, I was thinking, I didn't finish my thought. Do they match the fingerprints? Didn't I get the fingerprint evidence? Where is it? Do they match the fingerprints on the door? That's what I meant. Gray's fingerprints. Do they match those fingerprints? Stop, chat. You know what I meant. Just explain. You know what I meant. You know what I meant. So depending on whose prints we find, it can completely change the tide for both sides. Makes sense after all. The culprit's prints did get them past the fingerprints lock somehow. Oh, and take this picture. Might come in handy. Isn't this just a photo of Launchpad 1 door? Yep. But Prosecutor Blackwell seems really interested in it for some reason. It's because of that knob. He likes knobs. Huh? What's so important about this door? Beats me, but boy, you can see the gears in his head go into hyperdrive at it. Seems like this is going to be a major point of contention tomorrow. Hey, don't forget about the print comparison, boss. Right, Detective Fulbright, do you think you could run the test for us right now? You just leave it to me. In justice we trust. Please be Clays, please be Clays, please be Clays. Great. That's not good for us. Oh. Oh, I guess it's on the other side. Okay, fair enough. I thought... never... Okay, no, it's fine. Okay, I guess it's fine. He was the one who opened it to get in. I thought he also opened it to get out. But there's only one set of fingerprints, so he must have opened it to get in and out? Maybe? I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know. But it does... I guess it does prove that nobody else went in from this side other than him. Maybe? What was the other thing I needed to show him? The rhetorical question. This. Hit it. About the security footage that was taken by the boarding lounge 1. Oh, that footage? Go ahead and ask me anything you'd like about it. Is there any way I could see a little more of the part just after this? Easy as pie. I'd be glad to show you. Why is he so cooperative? Huh? The screen went blank. Yes, apparently the after effects of the explosion damaged the wires. So there's no footage after this point. Ha ha ha. Why didn't you just say that? They're just showing me a blank video. Video ends immediately. I mean, it's still useful information. Something definitely seems to be up with you, detective. You're unusually cooperative. Well, I just figured if we work together, we'll get that much closer to justice, right? But it seems like something's really been bothering you. You don't have some ulterior motive, do you? What? I don't know what you're talking about. I would never do anything like that. Cyclops! I forgot we're playing as Phoenix! Oh, nice. And we still have the Magatama on us then. Good. It's been a while, but those are definitely Cyclops. Did you just mouth psyched? Is there something I should be psyched about? No, Cyclops. It's a system of locks on the secrets in a person's heart. Dude, Phoenix, you can't just say this to people. It's gonna sound crazy. I can see when people are trying to hide those secrets by the... Dude, if somebody came up to me and said this when I hadn't played Ace Attorney, I'd be like, are you okay? I know he does this every time to remind the player, right? But I'm just talking in context of other people listening to it. Presenting evidence can break those locks. And reveal any secrets they're hiding. Mr. Wright, how much did they bilk you out for that piece of rock? Okay, at least Fulbright agrees. If you've been swindled, I know some lawyers I can introduce you to. I'm more than capable of representing myself, thank you very much. Isn't it some kind of fraud? It really works. Oh, it isn't some kind of fraud. It really works. A friend gave it to me a long time ago. But I guess seeing is believing. Allow me to show you. Is Maya just never coming back then? I can use the Magatama on him by touching it. X.
Take that!
Why you're being cooperative? I think you're hiding something, detective. So why don't you just tell us about it? What to do? Which path is the path of justice? Detective Fulbright is really in agony. I bet this is the issue he's so torn up over. Justice. No, Fulbright's in love with something. I really understand he's in love with justice. I really understand what's been bothering you, detective. I truly do. Something happened that goes against your principles. Isn't that right? No. I don't know what you're talking about. Until the explosions occurred, everything was just fine. Was that a fact? Yep, peaceful as peaceful can be. Everyone whistling a happy tune as they did their job. You never saw a more relaxed guard detail for a routine rocket launch. I don't think the guard detail was as relaxed as you claim, as long as this exists. Didn't he give us like a report of when the explosions happened? Evacuation report. Riot police. Oh, there's nothing as relaxing as the riot police, chat. Before the explosions, what was supposed to happen here? What was supposed to happen here was a rocket launch, and yet security was so tight. They even brought in a special task force. I'd hardly describe that as a relaxed guard detail. So it's like they were expecting something bad to happen. Had they been warned that something bad was going to happen? Now, hold on just one moment. The entire nation had their eyes on this extremely important rocket launch. That's why I was calling in a special security detail. As versatile as you are, I can certainly believe that that's true. So it's very strange that this person would be part of that detail from the outset. Oh, Candace, right. Yeah, okay. No, no, it makes sense. Why would Candace have been brought in if she's a bomb expert? Unless they knew that a bomb was going to explode, or like the threat of a bomb. So the threat of the bomb must have been there already, and he just doesn't want to admit it. Take that!
Take that!
Active Arms specialized in bomb cases. The fact that she was here on hand means that you people knew there was the possibility that a bombing would occur. You got me, Mr. Right! Unlock successful. Easy peasy. What you can't say. Oh, now he's doing a little shy. Alright, I concede. You win. It's just as you say. A few days before the launch, they were warned about a potential bombing. But the plan to launch went ahead in spite of the threat. But why? What were they planning to do if someone got hurt or killed? Yeah, I know. The decisions to move forward weren't exactly just, was it? How was the warning delivered? By phone, and directly to Director Cosmos. But the police department instructed everybody to keep it under wraps. It's a big thing to keep quiet about. No wonder you were so upset. But it's not only that. I've been distraught about Prosecutor Blackwell as well. Prosecutor Blackwell? Well, as his handler, I'm sure you've had a lot of difficulties. It's not it. It's a question of justice. I've been wondering about why he's allowed to stand in court. I've been wondering that the entire game. But we've kind of just rolled with it. The reason he's still prosecuting? Detective Fulbright, please tell us everything you know. Well, talking to you folks about it would definitely be breaking the rules. Never mind that. What are rules but things to be broken? That's not right. Well, to tell you the truth, having a prisoner act as a prosecutor is highly irregular. I think we guessed that much, yep. So why is it being allowed? I've been wondering about it. So you weren't told why either? Huh. No. I guess the order came pretty high up the ladder. It would had to have. The prosecutor Blackwell told me once. Who's in charge of the prosecutors? Good question. I've been on for the phantom of 7 years past. Continues even still. 7 years past? A phantom, huh? Not one of the friendly variety either, I gather. Haunted for 7 years. This phantom of 7 years past. Any idea who or what he was talking about? Not a clue. But he seems to think that this phantom is behind the whole incident somehow. Well, wait a minute. He thinks they may be connected to this case? Yep. This case has way too many similarities to what happened 7 years ago. For starters, this case happened right here at this very space center too. And in both incidents, a threat was issued via telephone. So that's why Prosecutor Blackwell thinks this incident was the work of a phantom. Well, that's not the entire reason. I mean, if you want to talk about 7 years ago, that's when Prosecutor Blackwell was found guilty of murder. That messy case is what started this whole dark age of the law. So you see how this Phantom and Prosecutor Blackwell conviction might be related. Yeah, I can see why he'd think that. This incident and the Phantom. Not to mention Blackwell's past. It's almost inconceivable that they would come to a head here. Well, clearly Athena also knows stuff about this, but she doesn't want to talk about it. She can't talk about it. This might sound crazy, but Prosecutor Blackwell can't possibly believe Mr. Starbuck is the Phantom person, right? I mean, he was acting kind of strange during the last trial and all.
Silence.
He was acting a little weird. No, I doubt he thinks Mr. Starbuck is the Phantom, but I do get the feeling that he thinks the defendant has ties to him. which is why he's acting so impatient. He's got a personal grudge against Mr. Starbuck. And that's not real justice. Always trusted in Prosecutor Blackwell's judgment until now. But this time, I'm just so overwrought about it all. If he's lost his ability to think rationally, I'm afraid it might lead to a false conviction. Never seen Detective Fulbright so tormented. This must be why he's been so cooperative. Don't worry, that's exactly what defense lawyers are working to prevent. Hi, AG! I think you put the head in the wrong space. Because that just looks like he's plugging his ears. I feel bad for Prosecutor Blackwell, but I'm going to be rooting for your team this time. But don't tell him that. You have to promise me you won't. Okay, so he just doesn't want a false conviction. Detective Fulbright. Guess I was wrong about you. No. AG. Next time. Third time's the charm. I swore to reform Prosecutor Blackwell and make him a valued member of society. I can't just sit by and watch him give in to his emotions and tear the defendant apart. This is just like the eggplant playing the saxophone again. You're the only ones who could stop him in court. You really care and want what's best for Prosecutor Blackwell, don't you, Detective? Leave the courtroom to us. It's not like we want a guilty verdict either. Lovely, Pixel. Glad you're enjoying your Saturday. I was hoping you would say that. I'm really grateful for the two of you. This makes me like Blackwell more. I mean, I already knew that not Blackwell, Fulbright. I already knew he was mostly on the side of justice and stuff, but this makes me give him a lot more respect. To show my thanks, I'll give you another bit of information. It's about the eyewitness, who we still haven't talked to yet. I saw her hanging around the Space Center entrance a little while ago. Okay, we should go talk to her. Very important. To see what she's seen. Whoa. You have... Priya, you have an eggplant emote and a saxophone emote. I love it. I'm going to work extra hard to find that perfect piece of evidence for you. In justice we trust. On 3, 1, 2, 3. In justice we trust. Okay, later. There he goes. Wait, were we supposed to say in justice we trust back there too? Let's go see that witness now. Alright, the Space Center entrance it is. The witness must be around here somewhere. Oh. Is the witness a robot? Hello? Hello? Uh-oh. Don't tell me the witness is a robot. Hello? Come over here. That's not Ponko though, is it? Hello? Hello? Are you sightseeing? Are you lost? Are you... I am Clonko. Shall I guide you? Guide you? I don't know why, but this robot is kind of freaking me out. Hey, you're not supposed to be wandering around. Oh, this is, the lady from the photo. Oh, gee. Okay, well, I already don't like her. Again? I've had enough with you, hunk of junk. Ah! I'm outside. Am I wandering? When did that happen? Okay, welcome back, hunk of junk. You don't know how close you get. Okay, she was doing it to help. If you didn't snap out of it, I was gonna put you, okay, never mind. I've gone back. I'm going back and forth. Nothing works better than a 42.5 degree karate chop. It's pretty specific. Excuse me, but are you the one who witnessed the murder? Oh, and I'm Phoenix Wright, the lead attorney for this case. How do you do? Just showing the badge directly to her face. Big shot lawyers, huh? I'm Aura Blackwell. Excuse me? Simon's sister, maybe? I'm a researcher developing robots at the Cosmos Space Center. Blackwell. She be? And this good-for-nothing robot is named Hunk of Junk. My name isn't Hunk of Junk. My name is Clunko. That's mean, Miss Aura. Quit complaining. Your model number is Ponko 2. But Miss Aura, everybody calls me Clunko. Quit your squawking already. What are you doing? You're so mean. There, I bet you won't be talking back now. Ah, I will obey completely. Nice. Better watch what wires I cross with this one. Oh, Jesus. Just tell me, well, tell me about your last name first. Your last name is Blackwell. Do you have a relative in the legal profession? You are correct. Simon Blackwell, who used to be a prosecutor, is... Oh, my lord. Oh, really? That's nice, Panda. Pandemonial. She is just as abrasive as Simon. Indeed. But she's rude. Simon is my little brother. You know him? Yes, we met him in court a few times. Right, Athena? Oh, that's why Athena recognized her from the photo. Because she obviously has a history with Simon. So she must have recognized Aura. And now she's feeling some way about it. But again, she doesn't want to talk about it. So I'm not going to force her. What a dull creature. Has a switch been turned off? Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Pixel. Athena being shy? This is new. Oh yeah, heard he was prosecuting again, despite being a prisoner. Why doesn't he just stick to solving disputes among inmates in prison, right? Hey, what do you think, hunk of junk? Miss Aura, that hurts. I'm asking you a question. Why don't you answer me, useless hunk of junk? But, Miss Aura, you told me to only speak when you ordered me to speak. I told you to never talk back to me. You're worth more as scrap. Oh, what abuse? Walk attacks? Blackwell family life must sure be interesting. Well, do you have any other questions? Wait, of course you do. You're a lawyer. It's not like I'm on Simon's side or anything. I just want to get this over with. Alright, the witness. So, you're the partners? Blah, 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 blah. You're the person who witnessed the incident? That's right. I was on the 4th floor of the main building, in the robotics lab. Oh, thank you for the info. Yeah, so that's what they said. She climbed down and then she saw the murder. The explosion disabled the elevator, so I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. But it was such a pain. Why couldn't they have just used the ladders in the other rooms? Must have been a very troubling experience. Probably best to just humor her here. Then, as I passed by the 3rd floor boarding lounge 1 window on my way down, I saw the crime as it happened. And that's about it. So, you saw the crime as it happened? And that's about it. I see. Can you give me some more specifics? Wait, what? You saw it being committed? This is no time to just nod and repeat. So you saw into the 3rd floor lounge. The very scene of the crime. Yes, what did you see? Tell me, specifics. That's right. There's a small window on the right side of the room. I looked through that from the outside. The room was pitch black, but I saw a shady figure holding a lighter. A lighter? Why do there keep being objects that have nothing to do with the actual murder just suddenly show up? First there was a bullet, now it's a lighter? And the knife, okay, well the knife obviously makes sense. Must have been the culprit. Did you see who that person was? Of course not. Power was out on that floor. There was only that tiny window. But you saw a person? Not somebody in a spacesuit? I see. But you did witness the moment of the murder? Yes. I saw the figure with the lighter raise their knife, and it happened at precisely 10 in the morning. Did you witness anything else? Did the killer have any distinguishing features? I already told you! It was pitch black in there. Although, did notice that the lighter the person had in their left hand had a pretty ornament on it. Pretty ornament. Like a planet. It was blue. Kind of like a little earth emblem. They had a good taste in knickknacks anyway. She's surprisingly chipper for having seen a murder. An earth emblem on the lighter. Better remember that. Okay, well, we haven't seen that lighter. Thank you for your statement. We'll definitely prove Mr. Starbucks innocent with it. Ha ha ha! Yeah, right. I won't hold my breath. Pardon me? Oh, did I hurt your feelings? Sorry. I just detest lawyers. That's all. I got moth in my face. What didn't you like about lawyers? It's just an instinctive dislike. But don't feel bad. I hate prosecutors even more. That didn't make me feel any better, actually. Why you hate lawyers? What did Simon do to you? Why do you hate lawyers so much? Little thing from my past. The whole legal system is meaningless in the first place. Well, probably because her brother got convicted of murder when he didn't do it, maybe? I don't know. Don't really know about the past at all. I certainly don't agree. I mean, people are imperfect. They lie. They're influenced by silly emotions. You can't expect such imperfect creatures to uphold a reasonable system of law. I like robots much better. Even sad sex like this one. Oh, Jesus! Hey, you! Look alive! There! Ah, yes, yes! Here I go! I am the ultimate robot. I can operate. I'm gonna hurt my voice. Alright, that's enough out of you. You're getting a little too carried away. Huh? What was I doing? Oh, poor Klonko. Yep, I like robots much better. At least you can make them any way you want them. Unlike humans with their petty emotions, constant worries. Yeah, stupid humans. And their emotions. How can you say such things? Feeling emotions. Worrying about the things we care about. That's what makes us human. Well, the girl finally talks, and she starts with a speech. That's what makes us human? You mean getting angry and snorting like that? Rational thought. That's what separates humans from animals. Unfortunately, your reasoning capabilities are more akin to that of a clever little monkey. But that's nothing to be ashamed of. Must be nice to have such a simple mind. Oh my god, Athena's gonna kick you in the face. Or punch her in the face. Can I punch her, boss? Get a hold of yourself, Athena. Humans certainly are absurd. I said you were clever, didn't I? Poor thing. Tell me, with people like you in charge, how can I possibly trust the legal system? So she just trusts not only lawyers and prosecutors, but the whole legal system? What in the world happened to this woman to make her so bitter? I have a feeling that case 5 is going to be all about Athena and the Black Wills and the law, the dark age of the law. It's going to be very interesting. Even if somebody important was killed, I would never wish to see the killer brought to trial, because I'd much rather kill them myself. You can't be serious. That thing you're wearing around your neck. Oh, this? Around Athena's neck? Does she mean Widget? Oh, I get it. Well, well. Her Royal Highness has returned at last to her castle. What? Her Royal what? What is she talking about? By the way, I heard the rumors. Our director is going to be the star witness in court tomorrow, right? Director Cosmos? Yeah, that's right. You poor things. You better be careful. That old man is a big liar and a huge braggart. Huh? What? He might seem like a bigwig, but the center has all kinds of problems. Yeah, that's why the first mission almost failed. He has a lot of skeletons in his closet. But it's your problem, so why should I care? Oh. What? That's it? No friendly tips? No good luck, guys? Just splendid? I'll leave you to your woes. Come on, hunk of junk. Alright. Sad to me that she doesn't believe in our legal system anymore. She must have had a very bad experience to make her feel that way. Are you alright, Athena? You seem very down. Just can't believe she said all those things! Oh, she's really upset. She's been trying not to let it show all this time? Well, guess it's not that surprising. You hear about fabricated evidence and false indictments on the news all the time. You mean that whole Dark Age of the Law nonsense? I'm so sick of hearing about that. Well, all we can do is believe in what we're doing. Yeah. You're right, boss. I agree. Maybe it's time we went back to Mr. Starbuck. Good idea! We should tell him about the bullet and Miss Blackwell's statement. Alright then. Next stop, the detention center. Also maybe the lighter too. Oh, he's still so sad. Have you just been looking like that in the mirror the entire time? Well, not the mirror, the visitor's window. My lawyers are here. It must be bad news. Hey, not necessarily. We found a new witness. A researcher saw the moment of the murder through the lounge window during her escape. Really? So they're gonna let me go? Unfortunately, it was dark, and she couldn't identify the person. I should have known. My stars never align just right, too. But we got a lead too, Mr. Starbuck. The murderer had a lighter with an Earth emblem on it. A lighter with an Earth emblem? Oh! Did you remember something? Yep, I sure did. Just a little bit, though. Anything at all would be helpful. So please, tell us what you remembered. Tell me. Thought I was unconscious the whole time. But now I remember. I woke up for a few brief moments. That's huge! Do you remember seeing anything? A lighter. I saw the flame of a lighter floating in the darkness. Good. What else did you see? What was nearby? It was definitely the boarding lounge. So it must have been after Clay carried me there. I never claimed to be a professional lawyer, okay? I am just a man with a badge. In the light and flame, I saw a dark shadow flickering. Dark shadow? Must have been the third party we've been looking for. Thank you, Mr. Starbuck. You've been more help than you know. We can prove that there was this third person at the scene, and they're the real killer. Then you'll be cleared of all suspicion. Key will be whether or not we can identify this person in court tomorrow. At least we have something to go on now, and that's a big plus. Should probably tidy the evidence up a bit before some mistakes thrown through a hoarder. Irrelevant evidence tidied up. What was irrelevant? What did we get rid of? Oh, we got rid of the evacuation report and where the bombs exploded. I think that was mostly it. Might be something else. Now that we have a glimmer of hope, I'm suddenly starving. Why don't we go back to the office and treat ourselves to a big celebration in advance? Someone who's highly empathetic. You can be surprisingly unsympathetic. Oh, we actually are gonna go get food. Okay. Food time. Maybe Trucy cooked something for us. Exactly, Latinage. So, you found your strategy for tomorrow's trial, huh? Good for you, Daddy. Well, it's one step forward anyway. Hopefully it'll give us a fighting chance in court. As long as we can find out who this third person is. Now, let's get something to eat. I'm starving. My vote is for Eldon's noodles. Yeah, noodles sound good. Oh, Apollo? You're supposed to be in hospital, dude. Apollo? What are you doing here? I didn't think the clinic was ready to release you yet. My wounds are fine, and I'm done lying around. Apollo, you're supposed to be in bed. Leave this case to us. We'll take it from here. Thanks. That's not an option. Not for me. Apollo? Apollo? Go back to bed, silly. You shouldn't underestimate your injuries, Apollo. Don't you overdoing it. I'm fine. I'm not in pain anymore. Besides, they just gave me an IV at the clinic. Ivy isn't a cure-all, mummy man. Anyway, just tell me how the case is going. Have you guys made any progress? A suspicious figure was spotted at the scene. We think they must be the real killer. Suspicious figure, huh? Right. Thought you'd be happier than that. Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm happy. And I fully intend to see Clay's murderer apprehended. Absolutely nothing will get in the way of that. Yeah, he wants justice for Clay. Clay was your best friend, right, Apollo? That's right. Best friend since junior high. Sounds like me and Junie. So what was Clay like? Well, he was full of compassion and energy. And he had a really loud voice. The two of you did voice training together now. I bet you'd break a few windows. You know it. I bet you're right. Seems like only yesterday. Clay was a guy who lived for his dreams. We used to talk about it a lot. He was going to be an astronaut, me a lawyer. We talked well into the night, and even then, we never grew tired of it. Hi, Crazy! Not much, having fun with not Justice, Dual Destinies. Getting back into Ace Attorney. Been a good stream so far. BBW. Hope you're doing well today. I know, so sad. Oh, about that jacket. Oh, it's Clay's jacket. Oh, it's Clay. Oh, I knew it. It's a special jacket that was only issued to members of the Hat Project. He was finally able to get one of his own once he was selected for the Hat 2 mission. He always looked so proud wearing it. But just when his dream was finally coming true, I still can't believe it. Damn it! It's not fair! Oh. Apollo, hope you don't try to carry the burden all alone. I guess we were both unlucky. My own debut was a disaster. Guess you're right on some level. That trial a year and a half ago wasn't exactly the smoothest of starts. Yeah, indeed. That was a rough time for me. But Clay refused to let me quit. You're fine, he'd say. Don't give up. That's right during his screening exams, too. Couldn't have become a full-fledged lawyer without him. That "you're fine" of his is why I'm still standing here today. You're fine, huh? You're fine and I'm fine were like your catchphrases, weren't they? Something like that. Sure brings back memories. When we were in junior high, Clay's mom passed away in an accident. But he wouldn't show his sadness to anyone. One night, I found him crying all alone in the school courtyard. Aww. Mom. Mom! Get away, Apollo! Don't come over here! Hey, listen to me. I don't have a mother either. Huh? I always think, everybody else has a mom. Why am I the only one? But, you know, when I start to feel that way, I yell at the top of my lungs. I holler, I'm fine! And then, you know what? I start to feel like maybe I really will be fine. Apollo, justice is fine! Okay, Clay, now it's your turn. Okay. Clay Terran is fine! There you go, now we're both fine! Ha ha ha! We're fine! We're fine! Aww. What are you laughing about? See? We're fine. You laugh first! I'm fine! You're fine! We're both fine! Thanks, Apollo. Aww. When you say it out loud, it really starts to feel real. As long as you don't give up, you can keep on fighting. That's what we believed. As long as you don't give up. Isn't there somebody else who said something similar? Yeah. Clay called Mr. Starbuck his mentor and looked up to him. Wonder if I can be a good role model for my staff like Mr. Starbuck. You definitely can, Phoenix. Sorry, Mr. Wright, but I'll be taking a leave of absence. What? Wait, what do you mean by a leave? Oh, so this is the cutscene that we got after the first case. You're really serious? Can you at least give me a reason why? When I put Clay's jacket on, I swore to him that I would catch his killer myself. But that's our goal too! I agree with Athena. We should work together to find the truth. The truth, huh? It's a noble cause. But what if the truth you seek and the truth I seek turn out to be different? I'm not sure I follow. What are you saying, Apollo? I'm gonna catch the person responsible for taking my friend's life. In my own way. Take good care of Mr. Starbuck for me. Now, I must be going. Goodbye. Apollo, what are you doing? Goodbye? Did he just say goodbye? I sense a lot of seething anger and hatred coming from him. Also, suspicion. He's not walking out on us like this. I'm gonna go talk some sense into him. Hold on, Athena. Apollo can believe what he wants, but I believe he's wrong. We take different paths. The truth we arrive at should be the same. I think the quicker we solve this case, the better it'll be for Apollo. Yeah, you're right, boss. Alright, that's enough for one day. Make sure you're ready for tomorrow's trial, okay? If he were here right now, Apollo would say, I'm fine. Everything is fine. I just hope things really do turn out fine tomorrow. There's a lot riding on tomorrow's trial. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh. It is trial day 2. Oh, I want to keep going, but I feel like it's a good place to stop, especially because it's, I don't think the trial is going to last 47 minutes. And it'll be a good place to start tomorrow. So we start tomorrow with the trial. It's going to be quite nuts.